Here we are, State Wars Hockey Podcast number 30. Can't believe it, GT. 3-0. Glass Half Full Productions coming to you straight from NY, New York, Long Island. What's going on, Greg?
What's going on, Timmy? Just another day, buddy. Just another day, living the dad life. Nothing too crazy going on over here. Just really need to get my butt into some shape here. You know, obviously I'm skating a little bit with you on the weekends. All this Halloween candy and I'm eating like junk. I need to hop on this thing back here and get my ass back into Orange Theory as well.
You hopped on that Peloton yet, or are you still waiting on these shoes? Shoes still?
Yeah, I've had other things going on in my life, so it's kind of been pushed back. But just talking with Amy actually yesterday about that, so got to get going on the Peloton for sure.
Listen, I'll tell you, from someone who has 3 kids, you could find 15, 20, 30 minutes to get on the bike, even with a newborn, bud.
Oh yeah.
You could actually feed her while you ride the bike if you wanted to. So.
Yeah, no doubt about that. That's not the issue.
Yeah, because you weren't riding that before she was born, so.
No. Exactly. So.
No, just and it's another day here. Just get ready for Fall Invitational here. So pretty excited. Got the schedule out. Was it 2 days ago? I guess we got the schedule out.
Yep.
So pretty excited. We have 85 teams, Greg. You said, right?
85.
I think last year we only had, excuse me, about 25 teams in the Fall Invitational last year.
Yep.
So I think we more than tripled our numbers.
Yeah, it was just adults back then, and with everything being shut down, we had so much interest in the youth division. So we said, yeah, why not? If you guys want to play, we'll put it on. So it's pretty cool to see, and 85 teams is a busy weekend.
Yeah, we still have, I think, close to 50 adult teams. So
yeah,
and we have a 20-team senior A division. So that's almost as big as the whole tournament was last year. So great to see, the numbers growing out here. We're going to have we're using 2 arenas for that weekend. We got the Marple Sports Arena in Broomall, Pennsylvania. There we're going to have all our youth divisions and our pro division. And then over at the Sportsplex in Feasterville, our normal home of the Fall Invitational and Winter Wars, is where we'll have Senior A, Senior AA, 35 and over, and 45 and over that weekend.
Yeah. I like how we broke it up. Just makes life easier for everyone, the youth teams and the adult teams, and less traveling, less, mileage on your cars.
Yeah.
But, there are some guys that will be going back and forth to both, whether it's coaching and playing and stuff like that. So it's going to be a busy weekend for everyone, no matter what happens. But it should be fun.
Yeah, no, can't wait for it. It's always a fun weekend. Last year was real fun. It was just adults. We kind of relaxed the whole time. I played in 2 divisions. You played, like we were just kind of chilling the whole time.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be a little more stressful, but lots of fun. Glad to see, on the youth side, we got 4 teams, 6 in the division, Greg, which we didn't even have a 6 on the Winter Wars, the not so Winter Wars last month. So to have 4 teams, big shout out to those guys. So we have Charlie Squirrello Jr. got his Long Crest Lightning. You remember that name from back in the day when Charlie was playing?
Yeah, I do.
His dad was coaching.
Yeah, I remember playing them back in the day, actually, when I was, 10 years old, 12 years old, face-off Flyers. We were pretty good back then. Lost to them. But Charlie was actually, younger than me, so I doubt he was on the team. But we had pretty powerhouse teams back then. But, it's awesome to see that, that program coming back, Long Crest Lightning. And it's funny, a couple of weeks back, Charlie posted some old school videos of them being on the news and stuff like that. I'm not sure if you saw that.
No.
It's pretty hysterical. Yeah, you have to go back and watch. It's them going to the airport, the news is following them and stuff like that. It was pretty neat. So to bring back Long Crest Lightning, it's pretty sweet. And like we always say, it's the future of the sport. So
guys that play getting their kids playing, right?
Exactly. I saw Bowers on the roster. A couple Strillos, so it's pretty neat to see.
He's got 2 of his boys on playing. So yeah, he got that 6 on the team going himself. Originally, it was like, hey Tim, can you get my son on a 6U team? And it was like, hey Charlie, get a team together, dude. Come on, you're working a rink, let's go. And he got a team together. So thanks to him. And then we have the Choice Inline Cougars. So Melissa Jenkins always helps out with that group. So shout out to her. Melissa getting their group together again. They've played before at Winters. Then we have Black Ice has a 6 on the team playing. So
yeah,
that's pretty awesome. I know Derek Kern helped them out with some kids, and Danny Teixeira, some of the Ice guys out here, and Jason. So it's great to see a 6U Black Ice team.
Yeah, I think KJ Tiefenworth's little nephew and should be playing on that team. I know last term he played for the 495 group, but not sure. I mean, he's kind of torn here. He practices with those kids over at Skate Safe, but I think he bleeds black and blue.
Oh yeah.
So,
Tiefenworth, that's definitely, he's got it. Jay Miro's definitely going to put the pressure on them to be a Black Ice player. I'm sure, especially without scoring some goals.
Yeah.
And then you got also in that division, Long Island Excelsior, which is kind of the 495er group.
Yep.
Dino Verone, one of those guys you're talking about, rushing back and forth the rings. So he's playing 35s. He's rushing back, coaching 6U, 8U, 10U teams. So shout out to Coach D. But he's got a 6 on the team in there. That's going to wrap up that division. So that's awesome to see. And then even an 8 under, Greg, we got 5 8 under teams.
Yeah.
And pretty special for us to see Empire Snipers on the schedule for 8 and under. So that brings me back to the good old days, and it's pretty awesome to see Derek Kern bringing out that name, the Empire Snipers. So I'm gonna be watching. You're gonna have to stream those games for me from over there, so I can check out the future of the Snipers.
Yeah, man, that's pretty sweet. Hopefully we could build on that, or Derek could build on it and get a couple more teams out of that, because he's got a little guy too. Is his little guy playing 6s?
So Blake, his youngest son Blake's playing on the 6U Black Ice team, and then
cool.
Logan's playing with the 8U guys. So a lot of his ice buddies and stuff. A lot of kids that came out to State Wars last year and played.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to see. Do you want to explain to everyone? We had a lot of odd number divisions for this upcoming weekend, and it's a lot easier. People don't realize when we have even number teams, going into tournaments. So do you want to kind of explain how we kind of broke those divisions down?
Yeah, and it's really the adults is where it got a little trickier. The youth, we had even numbers. In all the tournaments we have out here, because we're so packed. Basically, teams play guaranteed to play 3 games, and then we take at least 50% into the playoffs. We have more room. We try to take more, but in this tournament, we really just took 50% in because we're so packed. The Marple rink, they kind of, put me in a bad spot last minute, letting me know that one of the rinks we had to close down at 2:00 on that Sunday, which wasn't told to me in advance. So I'm in the midst of doing the schedule, and then I find that out, and it is what it is. So now we suddenly we're limited to 1 rink on that Sunday at 2:00, which really messed things up for me schedule wise. So we're able to figure it out, and good for that rink that they're busy and stuff, but it just made things a little more difficult schedule wise. But in the adult divisions, so the 45 and over is simple. We have 4 teams, play everybody once, top 2 in the final. Real easy. Same thing we had at Winter Wars, and it's actually the same 4 teams. 35 and over, we wound up with 7 teams. So there we have that odd number. So everyone's going to play 2 games on Saturday, and then everyone's going to qualify for the playoffs. Instead of taking half the teams into the playoffs, everyone's going to qualify, and then we're going to have a 6 versus 7 playing game, which is pretty cool for those teams, GT, because by seeding, that's probably the 2 weakest teams, and they're not going to play each other in those first 2. So it gives them a game to play into the playoff. So kind of like the NHL did with those play-in series. So they're going to play a 6-7 game.
Cool.
The winner of that game will play the 3 seed. 4 is going to play 5 for their first playoff round. And then the 1 and 2 seeds get a bye to the semifinal, which is pretty nice. And then the winners will obviously go to the championship at 35 and over. And that division, Greg, we talk about that 35 getting better and better. When I was seeding those teams out, I mean, you got the Snipers team that you play on, but I don't know if you'll be able to play it all because you're going to be over at the other rink at Marple playing pro and running that rink. So I don't know if you'll even make it 35. So assuming you're out, and then Derek Kern, you 2 guys, in my opinion, are the 2 best players on the team. He's going to be coaching over there. He's got an ice tournament that weekend. I don't know what he'll make. So even though you guys won State Wars last summer, you guys are definitely different without you and Kearney there. So, but you got Johnny Lemanski, I heard, playing this year, and Jeff Whitley wasn't there over the summer. So that team's gonna be pretty good. You got the NYC Empire, Frankie Peretti, Pudge Cole, Gary Cole, Carmelo Stracuzzi, all the boys. They came out to State Wars, did a really good showing. Ryan Carey, they just were at that winter tournament. They're a good team, and they play a lot, Greg. So that team's only getting better.
Yeah, they play more than any other team, I think.
Yeah, I think the Empires, that you might be right. They play at Skate Safe a couple nights a week. Guys are skating on that team, and they're just getting better and better. And they're a pretty fast team. So you look at them in that group. Then you got the Tour Assault, who, in my eyes, have been like the creme de la creme of that division in 35 and 45, honestly, the last couple of years. Even though last fall, Pete Pennick will remind me, last fall, Team Mac No Biggie had one of the goals in the final over Empire, 2-1 win. But we won that tournament last year. But, Tour Assault, Jimmy McGrath, we talked about it in the pro game, but the guy's still playing pro, and he's playing 35 and over. So that team's pretty strong. And then you got the New Jersey Assault, Greg, who didn't play last tournament. They had something going on at their own rink. That team was the top team in that division for a long time. So you never know who's going to show up. We don't get all these full rosters, which kind of sucks, Greg. But between these two Assault teams, you never know what we're going to get. They're both really good.
Yeah, again, those guys play a ton as well. I know they play at Tabremos, what's the rink called now?
Highline Arena, right?
Arena, yeah. So, those guys are skating. I know they have a draft league that they all play in together, and both teams are going to be really good. I saw Jeff Lind on the Tour Assault roster. He's a very good player as well. Let's not count out the other teams in the division as well. DSC Labeda Devils. They're always in the mix. They beat they could beat all the top teams. They have some great players on that team as well. They're always in a game, and even the Grinder team from Long Island. Again, those guys skate.
Guys.
Yeah, those guys skate all the time, and they're getting better and better at 4-on-4. And there's some really good players on that team as well. And then we also have the Jersey Rink Rat Empire. Not too sure who's on that team. I'm not sure if Andrew Otto is playing on that team with them and coaching. So I'm sure they'll be pretty solid too. So it's going to be a great division, and I'm looking forward to following the box scores.
Yeah, Julius Caesar Otto. He doesn't put a team together that doesn't have a chance to win. He loves this. I'm assuming that Jersey team will be pretty good. And you're right. That DSC Labeda Devils team, think about a month ago at Not So Winter Wars, the Empire didn't make the playoffs. It was a 3-way tie, I think, with the Devils, the Assault, and those guys. And it came down to, goal differential and all that kind of good stuff. So here again, you got a 7-team division. Anyone could win that one. So that's going to be tough. And then you fast forward over to the senior AA division, same situation. We got 9 teams in that one. We had 8 all along. The 9th team got in last minute. A lot of the New York Supreme guys that played over the summer at State Wars, they didn't want to leave those guys out. They made a trip out to Indiana. So they called us last second. They're on the name Long Island Hamas in the tournament. But you got 9 teams. There's the same scenario, Greg. They're all going to play 2 games on Saturday. And then everyone's seeding in. And there's going to be an 8-9 playing game to get to that quarterfinal. And then you got the quarters, semis, and finals. So really, think about it. If you're in that 8-9 game and you win it and go on a run, you're going to play quarters, semis, finals, and playing 4 games on that Sunday, possibly. And everybody else, whoever goes to finals, is going to play 3. So that's a long Sunday there. So it's not going to be easy. And looking at that division, I don't know where to start. You got the Connecticut Coasters, who came last month, and you had guy from the Red Wings playing on the team. So, he's going to be only better this time because he's probably played more since. And you got Bergeron and their crew there with the Connecticut Coasters. Then you got this Rhode Island committed team, guy Garrett Basils, who's also playing pro, Jeff Kocher. I don't know who else is on that roster yet. They're going to be a tough team. I think, you got to watch out for those guys. This Long Island Hamas team, New York Supreme guys, some skate safe guys, like you said, they all play a lot. They're young. The Liberty team, OG, Anthony Merrigan, another pro player. I'm sure he'll be playing with those guys, and they're always tough in their home rink. The Rink Rat Impact from Long Island, Phil Russo's group, they're always tough. SK Nightmare just had a good tournament last month from Jersey. And then you got East Coast Roast, which is basically Patrizzo's group, which has gone under the Tormore Beef or Roadrunner name before. they're always a good team also from Long Island. Again, a lot of guys that play a lot, and that double A division, Greg, is getting stronger and stronger, I feel.
Yeah, and we also had that team from Virginia coming as well, Tour Virginia. Not too sure,
About them, right?
not too sure how they're going to be. But again, I think they're playing a lot. I think they play a lot of pie hop, and I'm sure they'll be gearing to go. And I'm sure they're going to be in the mix. So, yeah, again, it's always a good division, always a strong division, especially a lot of the teams do have a couple pro players. So,
Yeah.
Should be fun. Should be a good division.
And that was the biggest challenge, right, with the schedule is we got pro at Marple, and you got games here. The rinks are about 40 minutes apart. Scheduling wise, it's not easy, and again, do our best for everybody, but there's always gonna be some conflicts with that, especially when playoffs come on Sunday, But the division I think I'm most excited about, Greg, is that senior A division, which just continues to grow. I mean, in the summer we have a 40-team division, but here we got 20 teams, Greg, signed up for senior A. Got teams from New York, teams from New Jersey, teams from Pennsylvania, teams from all over the East Coast here wanting to play. And those three areas really make up that whole division. There's so much hockey in that tri-state area. But so what we did here to be really unique this year, I think it's kind of fun, is I broke them into 5 pools of 4. So pool A, B, C, D, and E. And, it's hard, again, to rate these teams. You don't really know them. You don't have rosters from everybody yet. So I did a lot of it geographically, tried to put not a New York team playing 3 other New York teams and so on. And I kind of knew who some of the top teams were. So we separated those guys. So you'll play everyone in your bracket once, Greg. So you'll play 3 round robin games. And then the top 2 in each pool will advance to the playoffs. We'll make 10 teams. So the winning team in each pool, 1 to 5, will make up the top 5 seeds. And then the next 5 will make the next 5 seeds based on tiebreakers. So let's just say, for instance, a team goes 2-1 with a great goal differential in Pool A, but they finished in second. Somebody went 3-0, but a team in Pool E won the division and they went 2-1, but had a worse goal differential. They're going to get a higher seed based on winning that division. So it's all about battling out your own team. So even if you feel like another pool is stronger or weaker than yours, it's all about your own pool. You got to win out your pool in the top 2 seeds. So that's going to be pretty fun. Now you look at the playoffs on that one, Greg. On Sunday, you got a 7-10 and an 8-9 game to play into the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And then you got quarters, semis, and finals there. So there's going to be teams there potentially can play 4 games on Sunday in that division. Just a lot of hockey.
Yeah, and you know what? That's what they sign up for. These guys want to come out and play some games, and it's kind of like an Ironman tournament on Sunday if you can go all the way. So hopefully these guys don't have a crazy night on Saturday night. They're rearing to go on Sunday because, yeah, again, it's a good division. I know the Jaguars won the last tournament, but again, there's so many good teams in this division that, it's really a toss-up, honestly.
I want to jump right back into Marple for a second. So with some of those youth divisions, some teams I'm real excited to see. So, the Rink Rat New Jersey group. So I know Dennis Jelsic with Iska. He's working together a little bit with Raul Batista, who was part of the old Cougars group. And now they've combined with Rink Rat to put these teams together. So they got an 8U, a 10U, a 12U, a 14U. They got a bunch of teams playing. So that's awesome to see for those guys. And they want to get more in the mix, get the state wars this summer, hopefully. The inline 309 Stingrays brought out a 16U team to come out and play. And I believe a 12U team to come out and play, or no, not 12U, 16U and 10U to come out and play. So that's pretty awesome, and the Queen's Finest team. We got a team from College Point, New York, Greg, 12U, who was going to come to State Wars last summer, couldn't get it together, wanted to come to the Winter Wars tournament. Not sure we ever meet these guys, but they got their team in for 12U to come out and play. So that's pretty awesome. And then we got our buddies, the Tour Lizard King group, coming all the way from Georgia to play in the 18U and the junior division. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, those guys love it, man. Robbie Strinies, he always puts something together. Without Tim Harrington at the helm, coming for the trip, he kind of coordinates everything. And, he's always writing us, trying to get involved, trying to get teams together. So, yeah, got to give him credit. I know some of them are driving as well, so it's gonna be a long trip for them. But, yeah, they're always in the mix. It's going to hurt them not having some of their top players like Ryan Bailey and Miles Harrington, obviously. But I'm sure they're still going to be a pretty good team. So
Yeah, you don't come that far if you're just going to tank it. They're coming to win, obviously. It's going to be tough playing two divisions. They have a shorter roster, so that's what's going to hurt them a little bit. But let's talk about the pro division real quick. So we have one of our PAMA Pro showcases going on this weekend and, next weekend. So you know how it is, Greg, this time of year, it's always tough with guys away overseas or playing ice hockey. Even this crazy year, guys are still training or stuff's going on. So pretty excited for the 6-team division. So let's break down these teams really quick before we get into our PAMA Pro showcase today. So let's start out with who I consider the favorite going into this tournament, the Tour Roadrunners.
Yeah, the Roadrunners are always there. I mean, starting off with Max Halverson and Joey DiMartino, they're two stud players. Everything else kind of falls in place after that. I'm not too sure who's coming in for that. We don't have the roster for that team yet. Not sure.
Vito didn't get a roster in yet. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I don't have any of the pro rosters actually. Yeah. I don't know if the Bennett brothers are coming up for that event. Not sure if Del Morte's coming in from St. Louis. I don't know if he's at school. So I'm not really too sure who's in the mix of that team. I'm sure Corso will be there and Mula and.
So Martini Post, he's flying in, so he'll be here. So they're gonna win some faceoffs for sure.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, that team's definitely going to be top team. I'm sure Keith Johnson's going to be in net. If not, I'm sure Rob Kowalchuk will be in, and they'll be lights out as always.
You give me Max, you give me Joey D, you give me two other guys off the street, and Keith Johnson in goal. You got a chance to win that division. Exactly. Let's go right after that. Rink Rat Envious. Real excited to have these guys coming out. George Brown downtown was on last week. We covered them. Had a great showing. Again, I don't know who with ice and whatnot could be here. I'd love to see Soldowski there. That would make my day if he was coming. I might actually make the drive from Sportsplex over to watch him because he's on my radar big time. But Rink Rat Envious is a great team. I'm excited to see them come out and play. And then you got Liberty, Anthony Merrigan every year at these tournaments because it's their home rink at the Sportsplex. Marple's not too far. They're from the area. These guys just work so hard, Greg, and I feel like no matter who's playing, Liberty always has a chance to win that tournament and always seems like they come so close. Just want to get your thoughts on Liberty a little bit.
Yeah, Liberty's, again, with Jastro and that, he's a phenomenal goalie, and, Merrigan loves it. He's a diehard. I'm sure he sends a million group chats out to his guys, prepping them for the weekend, and he's always got his ducks in a row, and they come out with so much enthusiasm and energy in these games when a lot of these teams really don't get their bearings going yet, and they're just always flying and always ready to play. So they're always tough. It all depends on the matchups here, with them. Come playoff time, a lot of the top teams do step it up a little more, and they just got to get over that hurdle, over that round robin hurdle. They always do pretty well in round robin. It's just getting over that hump and come playoff time. So I'm sure they'll have some very good players as well, like Bradley and Minerva and those guys. So they'll be pretty damn good as well.
Yeah, and then you got, of course, Iska Grizzlies. They're always in the mix. It's a local team. They have a lot of their guys. They're pretty much a local team for the most part. You always got to watch out for them. Tour Assault for the first time. John Granucci, their another program. Big shout out to Tour Assault. They do so much for us out here. They got teams in almost every division. They're putting their first pro team in for the first time, which will be a young buck team. So, they're going to come out without a care in the world, work their asses off, speed. So can't count kids like that out. And then, the one team that is a big question mark is probably Labeda, which GT, you're organizing there with Shane Fox and some of the guys. We mix with some black ice guys, some sniper guys, a mix of here or there. So it's just going to come down to how it all comes together chemistry-wise, but definitely can't count out the Labeda team either.
Yeah, it's still a work in progress. We're just trying to finalize everything right now. I think we have 5 or 6 in a goalie at the moment. So we're just trying to finalize some players and, get a competitive team going. Just to compete and hopefully be in the games and hopefully sneak a couple wins out of the mix. So should be interesting to see what we have finalized.
Chris Bittner was just chiming in on our live stream here. Said to watch out for Team Richard Austin in the 45 and over.
Yeah, 45 and over. It's going to be another tough division. The Assault, like you said, they're always top dog in that division. They always come through, even when they're losing a couple games around robin or even losing a playoff game. They always tend to come back and win. led by Mr. Taddeo. He comes talk about energy. He comes with everything, every game.
Oh yeah, 100%. Chris Bittner is ready to play pro. Some of the guys are chiming in here. So maybe you need another guy, GT. Bittner is available. You need a guy to stay back and just stand that back by the goalie and just pass pucks up the rink. I think Bittner's your guy. Definitely worth a laugh in the locker room, worst case scenario. And Vinny Cavito, our buddy from Torres Salt, just said, how about a father and son playing together on a pro team? Is that a first? Laugh out loud. So I didn't realize, again, we didn't get rosters yet, that he's playing on the pro with his son on that team. So that's pretty cool to see. He'll be another guy rushing back and forth rink to rink then, I guess.
Yeah, that's great. Have we ever seen that? A father-son combo in pro?
In pro, I would probably think not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think not.
That's pretty neat. That's a first for State Wars.
Yeah, awesome to see that. So let's dive right in here though in a minute here. So our first game we're going to talk about, we're going to hear a team about from this coach right here, and let's hear from Jay Muro real quick.
Hey, this is Jason Muro, coach of Mission Black Ice Hockey. When I'm not home counting my gold medals, I'm listening to the State Wars Hockey Podcast.
That's Jay Muro, head coach, Mission Black Ice. We're going to cover their game here today, Greg. So it's Mission Black Ice round robin game versus the PAMA Labeda Golden Knights. This is the first game we've been able to cover so far for PAMA. It wound up being an exciting one. It was basically a game of two different halves. So leading into this game, this was a third round robin game for both teams, Greg. Both teams were 1-1 on Friday. So this is an important game for both teams as they start leading towards the playoffs. You don't want that fourth game to be a must-win game for you. And this PAMA Pro Invitational, it's just so tough, Greg, where it's the only tournament where you're going to see a PAMA Labeda Golden Knight Mission Black Ice round robin game, probably. So it's and they didn't have any easy games after that. I think PAMA was going to be playing the Mudcats, and Black Ice was playing Rink Rat Envious, I believe. So it just got tougher as you went along, but this was a pretty exciting round robin matchup.
It was definitely back and forth. Again, we'll play the game, but got to give PAMA credit. They stuck in there, stuck to their game plan, and played well. We'll get into the game now.
All right, let's start it up here. Let's bring it to Chris Trept and George Brown from the Fort Wayne, Allen County Memorial Coliseum.
Welcome back into Car Shield TV. PAMA Labeda Golden Knights Mission Black Ice. Chris Trept along with downtown George Brown. And this is an understatement, but it's a big game for both teams. The puck is down and we're underway.
Now, Greg, we probably don't, I know as much as you and I harp on face-offs, you may not think that the opening face-off's that important, but this one actually winds up being pretty important considering Black Ice is going to strike really fast here.
It's a huge face-off win, and let it roll.
This could decide a lot. And these teams pool going forward. Pascali's got DiMartino up ahead, finds him. PJ DiMartino goes back for Pascali. He shoots and scores.
Now, I know the clock's a few seconds behind up there. It's probably more about 20 seconds into the half. So, Greg, I'm going to think from a coach, but from a player, if you're on the rink to start a game and your team gives up a goal 20 seconds into a big matchup like that, what's going through your mind as a player?
You're like, holy shit. Honestly, not a way to start a game, especially against a team like Black Ice. You definitely want to get the first goal, and if you don't score, early, kind of fuel them out and kind of get a good pace going during the first couple shifts. But it's a huge goal for Black Ice to get on the board and set momentum for the game. But yeah, it's always tough coming back. These games are long. It's not a huge deal, obviously, because the games are so long, but at the same time, it's like, oh man, that's not a good way to start the game.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about this goal here. So I'm going to jump in first here. So we're going to freeze it here. So the faceoff was lost. Again, it is what it is. I think it was Travis Bocchino versus Billy Pascali, two of the best for their respective teams on the draws, but Billy wins it back. And here you see Black Ice has control of the puck. And what I really want to focus here on, Greg, is just looking at what the players are doing here on defense. So here you got Travis Bokina, who's, how I look at it here is his play roles. You're going to see him starting to mark Cal Kafuk. He's not close to him, but you can see that's where he's leading towards. That's his man. And here you're going to see Junior Cadiz, who's far on the left boards here, who, he's an Energizer Bunny, Eton Junior. So he kind of just wants to chase the puck sometimes. And he comes cross rink here after this puck. And let's play it through here a little bit slowly, what I'm talking about. So the puck goes across, and now you see Junior just jets across. And now it's just bad communication, because here you have Cadiz right here. Now he's coming across to get that puck. And Travis is now going to get caught in no man's land a little bit and not read the play that Junior's on his man. So now I got to back out a little bit. And this puck comes here to Kafuk. It still seems kind of harmless, Greg, because let's face it, they're 180 feet away from their goal. But Cal Kafuk, who continues to impress me the more and more I watch him, and I've always loved him, but obviously now as a pro player, he's on my radar for sure. Watch how he twists his body here, and he makes a beautiful headman pass right here. Boom. On the tape. And Black Ice just breaks out there. Let's watch it again. Puck comes to Cal here. Turns. And this is what I talk to guys all the time. Too many players, they want to hold the puck, control it. He just turns and moves it past Junior. Travis gets caught here. He's not the fastest player to begin with, so now he's caught, and now they got to get back. And Black Ice 2-on-1, and this is just a magnificent play by PJ DiMartino to get it back to Billy Pascali for an empty net goal. And I love how Billy here too. Billy doesn't try too much. He just gets to PJ. Boom, he's ahead of him. Give him the puck. Right back to him. Just a beautiful play, and Black Ice on the board right away.
Yeah, it's a sweet play. And awesome headman pass by Cal Kafuk. Way to put it on the tape too. It wasn't too far or in the skates. It was right on the tape. For that first pass is always the most important pass out of the zone, and Black Ice made him pay. I mean, simple as that. We'll see that time and time again.
Because I'm going to willing to bet, Greg, that if you watched almost every other game in this tournament, a youth game or whatnot, the person who has the puck here, in this case Billy Pascali, they would keep carrying that puck and carrying it and carrying it and carrying it. Billy doesn't do that. He sees his man's got a step, boom, give it to him. He's in, and now PJ unselfishly right back to him, and it's an easy goal, Black Ice. And again, if I'm Rob Chornomud, we'll talk to him when he comes on. We have Rob Chornomud, head coach of PAMA Labeda Golden Knights, joining us right after this game to talk about the game. If I'm Rob on that bench now as a coach, I'm just furious, because here we are, our team, you got to feel for the Labeda Golden Knights a little bit. We'll talk to Rob about this later on, Greg. But, coming into this tournament, there was so much hype about this team. They made some changes. They were excited for the tournament. And then they lost some key players, a Travis Snow, a Brett Olinger. Some key guys couldn't come with them on the trip for different reasons. And, a Nowick, guys that were hoping to come to this trip, even though I know he's not always there for them, but he was planning on coming. And then they come into it, so you're worried to begin with. You're 1-1. Now you're playing Black Guys. Like, guys, we got to settle down now. Where are we in this tournament? And you give up a goal 20 seconds in. I know Rob is not really a rah screamer kind of guy, but he's got to be boiling inside a little bit after this quick goal. I know I would be.
Yeah, it's not a way to start off, because I'm sure in the locker room, guys are talking. Guys, we need the first goal of the game, set the tone, especially in a game like this. And to let it up so soon, it definitely, it's a dagger. Sucks.
Yeah, no, 100%. All right, so let's keep going here now. We're going to fast forward a little bit. This game, the first half, Greg, there's definitely some slow moments, and we're going to maybe talk a little bit later about maybe some rule changes, whatever, to change this, but there's a little bit too much slow down in this game for me, and I know a lot of the sniper games get like that, and the alkali games could be a little bit boring, so we're going to fast forward a little bit here, about 4 minutes into the game. And, last week we talked about players on their off wing going to their backhand more and taking a puck wide rather than skating into traffic. And in this game, it happens numerous times. And here's a player, Sivalevsky, who has the puck here. And, he's a NHLer. He's not known more for his he's known for his hands in the NHL, but not necessarily for his stick handling hands. Did a lot of fighting and whatnot, and is a good defensive player. But, in roller hockey, he's a little more offensive and whatnot. He's a great player. But here, we're going to watch him.
Pass for Oleski. Now Osterkamp back to Oleski.
See that play there, Greg? Like, Steve's got to know Black Ice is so good at coming back, Greg.
Yeah.
And we'll see it numerous times this game where they swarm the middle defensively here. Everyone comes back and helps. And they're not lazy defensively as forwards. And that's what I think makes them a notch above most teams. But here, Steve, I want to see him, Greg. He's a righty on the left wing there. He's on his off wing. I want to see him pull that puck to his backhand, use his strength and go to the net because he's stronger than everybody else on the rink. Go to the net, force a play here. Instead, he comes to the middle with this puck, and he's not that kind of player, and no one really is. And you just got no chance there in that situation to get smothered.
Yeah, for him, you know, his team's down 1-0. He's got that great shot. For him, he's probably looking, hey, I'm going to cut across the middle here and get a quick shot on net. But, you know, Black Ice ate it all up. I mean, it's hard going through three guys back there.
100%. And again, even for anybody, it could be Travis Snow. I wouldn't want him doing that either. It's not a great play to do. So here, we're going to jump in here, Greg, and let you jump in here on this play here, and we'll play it through first.
Wants to make that first mistake.
Martino chops at the puck. Gets upended from his knee, still trying to come away with this.
Not too many players play harder and give their all more than number 55, do they, Greg?
No, not at all. And that's what puts PJ aside from every other player. He, you know, every shift in and out, he's just working his tail off, and he's got some of the best work ethic I've ever seen. You know, that's a puck that he probably shouldn't have won. And he's on the ground, sprawled out, battling, and his team ended up getting the puck because of his effort there. You know, I've seen PJ skate since he's 8 years old, and that's one of his upsides. You know, added to everything else that he has, but that his work ethic's crazy. And you know, we'll be skating at 12 o'clock at night, and he's just going all out, forechecking, going hard. He doesn't take a shift off. So it's a great play by PJ, last ditch effort, and Black Ice gets the puck.
You know, and our buddy here, number 65, Travis Bokina, former sniper, you know, plays the Border Cats normally in the PAMA Pro Division, got picked up by PAMA last minute here. You know, I want to see Travis be a little more assertive here too. Looks like he just kind of nonchalants it here, Greg. And let's watch him here. He should easily come away with this puck with PJ down, but he doesn't. A little lazy on it, looks a little slower there. You know, in Travis' defense, I think he was on a beach on vacation, pounding beers and hanging out, and he got the call from Rob Chornomud, hey, Travis Snow can't come, I need you to come, and probably wasn't ready for this division as much. And you can see it sometimes like that. Travis looks a step slow at times. He makes up for it on faceoffs and whatnot. But I want to see Travis be Travis and take that puck there.
Yeah, 100%. I'd like to go back to the 4:45 mark, Tim.
Martino. Martino up to Pascali. Pascali toe drag, shoots. That one goes over top the net.
Yeah, so for me there, that's a clean breakout for Black Ice. I think that's Gonzalez from the net on PJ DiMartino at the crease. Pretty sure that's him. It's hard to tell, but he's going to maybe step out and get in that lane so Billy Pascali can't come out with that puck. You know, him coming down with speed is very tough. You know, it's tough for anyone to defend speed, but when Billy's coming at you, it's even tougher because he's just so shifty. And, you know, he got a nice shot, makes Jerry Osterkamp kind of lean one way and gets a shot on net. And that's typical Billy Pascali for you right there. Great shot on net.
Yeah, and I think watching Jerry here, I think if Jerry was coaching his Labeda Jets youth teams here, I think he would get mad as a defender if he made the play he made here. He turns his back on the play, Greg. You know, if he just stays upright here, stick out on Billy, and then Billy makes a nice little cut here with the toe drag, but Jerry's just totally out of position here a little bit, and then he turns, which is a big no-no here. So I think Jerry Osterkamp watching that would definitely play that play a little bit differently and not make it as easy for Billy to get a good shot off there, but a good save there by Rayfield.
Yeah, you know, exactly. You're totally right there. And it looks like he made a last second stick check on the puck to not get like a clean shot on net. But yeah, it was a great play by Pascali.
We didn't mention who's in goal for these teams, is Greg. So, PAMA has 2 goalies, Blake Rayfield and Tommy Tartaglione, former PAMA Pro Invitational gold medalist with Rink Rat. And Rayfield starting the game here for PAMA. And you got Mike Machinsky, affectionately known as Chinny on Black Ice, Team USA gold medalist with us in Barcelona 2 years ago. So good goaltenders all around, as this whole division has. But let's watch a play here. I like this play here by Junior Cadiz and Itan Chavera. And this is kind of the reason why Rob Chornomud was excited to bring in an Itan Chavera. He's not the same player he was years ago with the fancy moves and whatnot, but he works his butt off, Greg. And I want to watch here the play, and I'll play it through with Trefty talking. But this is Ethan on the bottom here. And just watch how he busts his butt to get into the play here. And I like how Junior leads him.
Off the boards, and Karam's all the way back to center. Junior Cadiz, a saucer pass up for Chavera, but he couldn't get the shot away.
So just a great read by Junior, knowing it's Ethan coming hard. But, an even better play by number 93, Billy Pascali, who's probably one of the best two-way players in the game, Greg, stays with him there and says, sorry, Ethan, but there's not going to be a breakaway chance for you.
Yeah, Billy Pascali is probably the Patrice Bergeron of the PAMA Pro division. Just awesome both ways, awesome on draws, can score goals, creative, does it all. And I just love that play by Junior Cadiz. He knows Ethan's coming with some speed, and just putting in that empty space, and just a good play overall by everybody.
We mentioned Ethan Chavera a second ago and earlier Steve Oleski, and here Steve Oleski shows his offensive side here. I love this pass to Ethan here.
Osterkamp gives the puck to Oleski. Oleski sends one towards the front. Echeverry just chipped it wide.
I know it's a tough play for Ethan here, but
That's
what's that?
That's Etch from Colombia, Echeverry.
Oh, is it? Okay, sorry. So yeah, I'd like to see him be a little stronger on the puck. If you see here, Greg, he's got a step. If he receives this puck, he's got a breakaway. Steve makes an unbelievable pass. I'd like to see Etch there, receive that puck, come in. He'll have a little chance there, maybe get a breakaway chance, but great look by Oleski there.
Yeah, I can't tell who the defenseman was, but, obviously they put some pressure on and made a good play with the stick.
So now we'll get to Ethan Chavera. Here, again, same kind of situation. We mentioned it earlier twice so far. It's the third time I want to see a player take the puck wide here and not stick handle the traffic. Let's watch this play.
The Liberty or Liberty? Just think about it.
You see it there again, Greg? Here again, you got a righty coming down the left boards. Ethan's a big, strong kid. He's powerful. I want to see him go backhand. If I'm coaching Ethan Chavera here, I'm telling him, pull that puck to your backhand, go wide, pull in, let them pull you down, be a power forward here, not go to the middle. Because again, black guys, look there. You got that triangle D there, Greg. 3 men right there. Kozlo, you got, I think it's Pascali, you got Kufuk there. There's no way you're coming through here. And again, it winds into a nothing play. I want to see Ethan take that puck to them and be a power forward.
Yeah, even a player so skillful like Ethan, you're not getting by the defense like that. He's got some of the best hands in the division, but it's really tough to get through 3 guys like that. So yeah, I agree. I'd like to see either see him send it back right away or take it to the outside on his backhand.
But they're
It just sounds weird. It sounds weird when you
There's
say,
no longer an idea when it's a team.
like when you say the Liberty, it just sounds weird to me. I don't know why. Here comes Billy Pascali looking to increase the Black Ice lead. Pass to the back door. DiMartino shoots and scores.
Yep.
Returning the favor from the first goal, Greg.
It's an identical goal of the first goal of the game by Black Ice. 3 guys got caught forechecking. Love the forecheck concept. Love it, but they got to communicate a little better and not get caught because Black Ice makes them pay. They'll do it time and time again.
And if I'm Cooper Hart here, Garrett Hart here, I think at this point he's playing it perfectly, the 2-on-1, and he actually points a little bit towards PJ going to the net, but I think that's where he wants to lean more towards there. Let Ethan work harder and get back to Billy Pascali here. because it's going to be a tough score for Billy as a lefty there. If I'm Garrett Haar, I'm backing up here. And right here, he puts himself in a tough spot now. He's leaned over. He's going to go down, which, I hate that play, Greg, and I'm really hard on our guys. Our number 4, PJ Kavire, I get on him a lot about doing this, going down on plays. And when it works, it looks great. But I could show you 100 million videos, NHL or beyond, when guys go down, how they get beat against skilled players. And here you got 2 of the most skilled players in the world playing against you, Billy Pascali and PJ DiMartino. So I think if Garrett would have stayed on his feet here and then play more the pass here and give his goalie the shot and take away the pass a little bit more, I think nothing happens out of this play. Once he goes down here, Billy's like, okay, that's an easy play now. And now PJ DiMartino just roofs that shot and Rayfield has no chance.
Yeah, that's a great play by Billy Pascali, too, to be patient and return the favor.
So they return the favor there, 2-0 Black Ice, and they're rolling now 11 minutes into the game, and it looks like it's all Black Ice right now, and PAMA's reeling a little bit right now. Going to fast forward here. Another big pickup for PAMA this year from the Alkali team was Scotty Savage. I've been playing with Joe Cook's Alkali team, Greg, the last few years. Big D-man from California. Another one with a lot of ice hockey credits here, and watch this play by Scotty Savage, number 7.
Pascali now on both goals.
Savage tries to poke it towards the front. It's blocked.
So again, Greg, this is my 4th time talking about it today. Skating into traffic here. Scotty Savage is a very talented player. He's got that long, lean body as a defenseman. He's got that reach, kind of like a Lauren Barron a little bit to me. But comes in here, and again, I just want to see him go wide with the puck. He comes in here and he tries to stick handle through. And look at Black Ice again, Greg. This is like verbatim here. You can see 4 guys on the screen and 1 PAMA player. And this is what makes Black Ice so tough. We talk about the goals. We talk about the goaltending and PJ DiMartino's moves and Billy Pascali's moves. But this is what makes Black Ice so tough, Greg. It's a defensive side of them. They're probably the best defensive team as forwards in the league. And here again, Scotty Savage makes it easy for him. Yeah, he might have beat one guy, If there's a soccer, we call it Megdom, right through his legs. Boom, okay, you beat Tyler Kraft there. But all right, you're not going through Gerger here. There's too many men around. And I want to see these guys start taking the puck to the net on Black Ice.
Yeah, honestly, when Black Ice's defense is clicking, they're a tough team to beat. Obviously, we know that pretty well. They had a rough start day 1, and then they cleaned it up day 2 and 3, obviously. But Tyler Kraft makes a good play. Even though he got beat, he stepped to him to kind of force Scotty into traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure, Scotty looking back at this play is probably like, what was I doing there? But again, they're down 2-0, just trying to get something going, I'm sure. He's got a lethal shot. I'd like to maybe see him shoot the puck a little more. Obviously, it's kind of tough getting through that traffic there, but good play by Black Ice defense.
100%. So let's watch this play through here. Now you're going to talk a little bit about the forecheck here.
Towards the front, it's blocked, and it's John Seamer with it. Seamer from a bad angle, nearly stuffed it home, but Machinsky's there. Now here's what Black Ice needs to do. Yesterday, they had a 2-0 lead and a 3-1 lead, and they blew it. So that's on their minds right now. So the next goal is huge, 3-0 versus 2-1. It's a massive difference. Seamer wants to make it.
So before we get to that bad turnover there by Seamer, talk a little bit, Greg, about this forecheck by PAMA. And this is what causes a turnover here, and they get control of the puck because of it.
Again, I love the forecheck mentality. I love, because they got some speedy forwards on that team. They're pushing up on their gaps, closing in. But they're just not on the same page. They're not communicating, and they're breaking down. John Seamer makes great play, forechecking, but then kind of makes a lazy type pass towards the middle. I don't know if it was just a shot on net, just trying a little trickery there. Let's watch that again.
I like him in the corner here, Greg. He's down, Seamer, and he's one of those guys, he never quits.
Yeah.
And watch him here with his stick when he's down. Knocks the puck away off the stick of Gerger there. And they keep battling. But yeah, I don't know what Seamer's seeing here. It's a hard one to understand here. It looks like he might be looking at the point and somehow didn't see the Black Ice player there. But he puts it right on the stick of KJ Tiffenworth, and we're going to let Trefty and George Brown call it here.
Blocked by Tiefenworth. Tiefenworth up the floor. Cuts to the middle, fakes the shot, look, shoots it, scores!
That's so KJ, isn't it, Greg?
So KJ, so Kraft going in the net, making some room for him, backing up the defense. Just great patience by KJ, Worth there, and he's gonna bury that at 9 times out of 10. Just an awesome play by him, and 3-0 right out of the gate. Pretty nice for Black Ice.
I can't tell if Ray Krupp didn't even see the puck there. The one tough play here, and this is a tough play for defensemen. When players crisscross, and we always talk to our players about, changing it up, don't just go in lanes, crisscross. Gerger comes through here, and he doesn't touch his man. He comes through for almost like a little pick here. But with Jordan Thomas, to me, who's a defender here, let me highlight him here a little bit. This is Jordan Thomas, who's a great player defensively. What I want to see Jordan do here, and it's tough, I want to see him step through this lane here, Greg. Step through and just step into KJ. Because KJ, one thing about KJ, he's not the most speedy guy. He's not the most physical guy. He's crafty, but he's not going to cut back on you here. I want to see Jordan step through on him. Instead, you watch him here. Jordan kind of reaches. He leans and reaches, and he gives KJ, who makes that little extra delay. He thinks KJ is going to shoot right here, and KJ delays it and then keeps going, and now Jordan's out of the play. And Seamer just kind of did a flyby back checking. So they're all kind of screening their goalie here now. If Jordan Thomas steps through the here, that's what you hear guys yell, step through, step through. If he steps through here, I think he could eliminate KJ from this play, but he doesn't. KJ shows great patience and just scores a beautiful goal that only KJ could score there.
It's hard to tell. That could have been Trevor Riffey there. I'm not too positive. But, Trevor Riffey makes a great play, if that is Trevor Riffey. Getting that stick out. But KJ waited that extra second and got that shot off.
Yeah, you're right. It is Riffey. That is not Jordan Thomas. My apologies. Riffey there on that play.
Yeah. So, Tyler Kraft made a great play going to the net, back up the defense. And, when Tyler's coming in like that, kind of picking Trevor Riffey there, Trevor's got a lot on his mind there, right? He's like, oh, am I going to get picked? Am I going to get touched? So he's worried about that man cutting. But if I'm him, I might want to sell it and try to bump into Kraft there, because that should be an automatic penalty interference.
Pass out high, misses Oleski, race for the puck.
See, Greg, it's probably about and it's going to be a great play by Rayfield here in a second, but that's kind of a play that's happened a lot to PAMA this game so far, Greg. Miscommunication, it's the hard part when you don't play a lot, you don't practice a lot. Here you got Echeverria here. He comes around the net, and I guess he sees Oleski high right here. But Oleski, I don't know if he makes a different cut. It's hard to tell with the camera angle. And he just makes a bad pass, and it's off to the races here.
Rayfield comes way out. Falls down, but look at that pass. Right on the tip, shot, pad, stop by Machinsky.
Now we lose it there, Greg, with the cameras changing again. It's a tough play here, but obviously Rayfield comes out, makes a great play off the board, sends it 2-on-1 here. I think Osterkamp's stick broke on the shot. You see him toss it on the way back right there. But it's a huge save by Chinny.
Yeah, it's a great play by Rayfield, though, huh? Making that alert play down to the 2-on-1 guys, Jerry Osterkamp, and I'm not sure who was on the other side, but that's got to be a goal. Rayfield's, getting hung out to dry with these goals, makes another awesome play. And it'd be nice if PAMA could score a goal for him there and make up for lack of defense.
Yeah, and I wonder if that might be, I don't think it's the first shot on goal, but it's one of the first shots on goal on Chinny so far this game. I mean, he's really been, he could be reading a newspaper right now in goal down there so far. So to have to make a tough save like that, but you probably wasn't expecting it. You weren't expecting the goalie to hit them down the rink, quick 2-on-1 on you. And I'm sure Jerry Osterkamp, with a little bit of a weak twig right there. Maybe didn't get all of it, but that's a huge save by Chinny, because I'm no goalie, but I'm sure it's got to be tough when you're sitting there quiet all game and suddenly you got to make an unbelievable save.
Yeah, seriously. It's tough. Like we mentioned last podcast, it's tough for a goalie to get into a game when they're not seeing shots, even if they're, cheesy shots from the outside. They're not touching any pucks. So it's always tough. It's always difficult. But Chinny comes out big there.
Our buddy Matty Koleski from Michigan, head coach of the Mission Bauer Border Cats, who we definitely missed last summer at the PAMA Pro Invitational. And I'm sure we'll see next summer there playing. he mentioned it's all about winning the battles, and it's true. I mean, these battles is what it all comes down to. And that's the difference in a 1-goal game half the time is who wins those battles. So right now, Black Ice is the ones winning those battles. But big save there by Chinny. Great play by Rayfield there on that play. And we're going to fast forward here a little bit further to the 17:48 mark here. I'll play this through and we'll listen to Trefty and Brown.
Kraft fires one off the boards. Kozlow collects.
Now, Greg, I think this is the first bad play Black Ice has made this game. It's really unnecessary, Puck goes back to Kaz back there. We know Anthony Kozlow, he played for us as a kid way back. Great defensive player, unsung hero a lot of times on Black Ice. One of the names you don't know about that is a huge part of the chemistry of that team. He gets the puck behind the net here. And, it's only 2.5 minutes left in the half. You kind of want to get out of this half 3-0, I think, Greg. Controlling the game. I think Jay Miro wants him just to control the puck here. Instead here he comes out, he gets forced a little bit here by Ethan. And I'd love to see him just reverse it here to, I think it's Kraft coming in. Instead, he forces it up the ring to KJ, who's got a man all over him, and KJ loses his puck here, and now PAMA takes control.
Yeah, like you said, I like to see him spin around on his backhand, make a pass back to Kraft. He probably felt a little pressured from that forecheck by Ethan Chavera, and he just wanted to get rid of the puck because, obviously Ethan's very fast. He's got a good stick. But, yeah, definitely should have sent it back around to Kraft, and Kraft maybe should have spoke up a little more. I'm not sure. Obviously, we can't hear everything, but definitely should have sent it back.
And since that turnover, PAMA's had the puck here, and let's watch what it leads to here. And this is a big part of the game. Unfortunately, our camera angle is not great.
Heads up the middle of the floor. Off for John Seamer. John Seamer fakes the shot. Now he takes it. He scores.
I don't know why I'd say with the goalie cam angle there, but Savage left the puck there. Seamer went in. Looked like he shot through a screen, Greg. And we got a guy like John Seamer. He's got a sneaky wrister, Greg, and he's got that speed. So anytime a guy's got speed, and we talk about speed, he's at that speed level like a Spezia, like a Guzman. Like there's a few guys that are at that higher level of speed. So he backs guys up, and then when he shoots, it's dangerous through screens, whatnot, and that's probably what happened with Chinny there, I would imagine.
Yeah, I like to see players like him, especially doing that more often. Because, obviously when you're in that slot area, that hash mark area, there's no need for that extra move. And he makes a great shot. I think he should do that more often. A lot of shots through screens. But, yeah, it's an awesome play by Seamer. And what's interesting about this play now is there's a goalie change. TNT, Tommy Tartaglione, comes in for Rayfield after the goal from the Knights. We'll have to ask Rob what was his mindset here. I'm not sure if, maybe Rayfield was ready to come out or what the deal was there, but pretty interesting move.
Yeah, with a minute 40 left, you think he'd wait till the half there. It's 3-1. Again, like we'll talk to Rob Chornomud about this after we cover this game, but if Rayfield tweaked something happened. But yeah, definitely a weird scenario there with a goal change. But regardless, the half plays through here. And we're going to get to a point here with Jerry Osterkamp. Greg, I feel like a broken record. I feel like every week we say some of the same stuff, it's just kind of telling that the same things happen all the time. But what have we talked about all the time about end of halves? Teams just kind of falling asleep a little bit, getting lulled to bed. Here it is, 20 seconds left in the half. Black Ice has dominated this period up to this point, even though they gave up that one goal just then, which gave you see some life shot into the building for PAMA. And let's cover this last play here with 23 seconds left.
You haven't heard, George. JP Lamoya has been suspended for a game.
Wow.
For that hit after they reviewed it. Echeverry. Over for Osterkamp. Long range wrist shot. He scores!
Wow. That's all because of a screen in front.
6 seconds left, Greg. Tyler Gonzalez, he goes to the net, gets to the net, stays at the net, and Jerry just says, the heck with it. 7 seconds left. I'm just going to throw it at the net. A goal you never would think. Probably if he shot that puck 500 times, probably would get stopped 498 of them. But if that puck had eyes, as they say, it got through, and talk about a huge goal for PAMA.
Yeah, why not throw it on net? It's a veteran move. Not a lot of shots have been on net for PAMA leading up to that goal. Well, the last goal from Seamer. So, the last shot on net went in. There's seconds left on the clock. Smart veteran move by Jerry Osterkamp to throw the puck on net. I'm not sure who the defenseman was. I think it might have been actually Cal Kafuk there. I like to see him blocking that shot, honestly. It wasn't the hardest shot in the world. It's probably one of those plays where he's like, oh, easy play. Chinny should have this, but he was screened. It was a tough play and a good play by Gonzalez to get in front of the net. But if I'm a defenseman there, you got to put your body in front of that one because it's definitely one of those shots that probably won't hurt you.
And you see KJ Tiffenworth giving it to the referee a little bit at the game, question him. I don't know what he's asking about here at the end of this half. I have to ask KJ about that. But Jay Muro and Aaron Weiss definitely pretty relaxed here. I would expect a little bit more fire out of Jay Muro here. He's got to be a little annoyed after that last goal. I know I'd be pissed off at that last goal. To me, that's just a lazy goal by Black Ice. It's not one you can blame on your goaltender, just on the team just quitting at the end of the period, thinking it's over. And you gave huge life now to PAMA. Now you got a new game. It's 3-2 at half, and we got a game, boys.
Yeah, it's definitely tough to let in those two goals late in a period like that. But you know what? Black Ice was rolling up until then. They had possession almost majority of the time, making great plays, great passes, and their defense was pretty solid. So I wouldn't be worried going to the second. Yeah, I'd be a little disappointed in my guys for letting down. But some good plays by PAMA. Got to give credit there.
And I like this move here with PAMA. Travis Bokina is playing D for the team, but he's got him taking faceoffs here. Knows he's a good faceoff guy. Starting the half. Let's win this draw. Let's control the puck. And he's going against, again, a tough one in Billy Pascali. And Bags here wins it back. Love seeing that there. And let's talk about this Cal Kafuk here, Greg, on his forecheck.
Yeah, love the play by Cal here right out of the gate. Kind of blows up that breakout. Doesn't give him much there. And then I think after that, they kind of PAMA settles down and gets a decent breakout. But it's a great play by Cal to blow up that breakout, stepping in, putting the stick in the lane so they can't get to the puck and speed out of the zone.
And smart play by Ethan, too, to abort it here, Greg. You see Ethan coming, sees Cal stepping. So instead of going behind the net, which could cause havoc for his team, he steps away, goes around, and then breaks out a different way. So good play all around there by guys, but good catch there on the Cal Kafuk play. And we're going to keep forward in here a little bit. A little bit of a lazy pass here by Jordan Thomas. And this is why Billy Pascali, to me, is one of the best in the business on both sides of the puck.
Pass comes to Junior Cadiz. Now he advances up the floor. Pass for Chavera. Back for Cadiz. Nifty pass, but it was behind Cadiz. Now it's Jordan Thomas. Pascali forces it.
You can't make lazy passes around 93, can you, Greg?
No, like I said, he's got an unbelievable stick. I like to see him maybe use the boards or maybe just abort back into his zone behind the net. It's one of those plays where Billy doesn't have the longest reach in the world, but he's got that scrappy and awesome stick, and his hand-eye coordination is pretty phenomenal.
Here's a play with PAMA, Greg. I know they're a little short. They're not getting much offense from their forwards right now. I mean, I don't think I've called Junior Cadiz's name more than once this game. So they need to get more of their offense. Obviously, Travis Snow, you see in this tournament what a huge part of the offense he brings to the table. So Har and Savage and their D are jumping in a lot. But here's just an example of a play. Garrett Har gets the puck here. I want to see them move the puck more. And let's watch this play through.
Oh, he's seen some plastic now. Makes a nice stop there.
See right there, Greg? Garrett's got the puck. And that's John Seamer to your right. So that's one of your superstar forwards with a lot of speed. If that's Matt White on our team, if that's Brandon Hawkins, you have the puck right now. Are you getting your head taken off on the bench if you don't move this puck to them right here?
100%. I would definitely get some looks from those guys if I don't move that puck right away. But yeah, John Seamer's hot right now. You know, he got a goal. He's feeling it. Got to get him that puck.
Yeah, I want to get him that puck and let him take him wide here. He's got the speed. If anybody can go wide on a guy on this huge rink, on this still mat floor that's as fast as it gets, like if that's Tyler Speezer in that situation, they want the puck there. Garrett's got to recognize that, headman that puck immediately right here, and let Seamer do his thing, because that's where Seamer could do his danger, in the offensive zone with a gap and some speed. And that's where you got to move the puck right there to him and let him get the puck. And I want to see Seamer. I don't think he's that kind of guy, but I want to see him let Har know, get me the damn puck. You know, I want the puck there. I got space. Get me the puck. That's when I want it.
Yeah, again, you know, we talked about Black Ice defense there, and guys are always back. I'm not sure if you caught the tail end of that, but Tyler Kraft was on the back end, on the back check there, and forcing Har, you know, to the outside. And again, they just don't give much. Great play.
No, PAMA doesn't want to give up anything.
Right.
Just Tiefenworth, the other direction for Black Ice.
And Palmer's back a lot more desperate now with 3 men in the zone.
Nate Gerger out high. Tiefenworth, big slap shot and a pad stop.
So, Greg, this play here, and if I'm Rob Chornomud, I know he doesn't have much hair anymore, but I'm pulling out whatever hair I have on this play. We'll talk to Rob about this play later on. But here, you know, it's a simple play. Again, a lot of the breakouts are with Savage and Har together, and you know, it's dangerous to me when you have 2 D men rushing up together. You know, I'm big on our guys about, you know, one guy's going, one guy's got to be back at all times here. But you know, they're down by a goal. They want to make something happen. I see it. But Savage makes a little bit of a bad pass here, hits Har on his feet here, and he loses the puck. And I want to kind of see, you know, right here, you can see Har. He's the late guy here. He rolls by and he kind of keeps going to go roll around the net, and the puck's going the other way. You know, you're a D man. You got to get back. You know, they turn the puck over. Black Ice comes this way. They slow it down, and a great pass here coming up. They rotate, high man, and you can see Palm is just being lazy on the back check, and Tommy makes his best save of the game right there with a point-blank slap shot.
Yeah, might have been his first save of the game as well. Another great pass by Nate Gerger. There, good patience, taking the puck to the outside, using that lanky reach to get that pass across. But yeah, again, you know, I don't know if the D on PAMA Golden Knights just want to get a little more aggressive and into the play a little more, just because, you know, let's be honest, the night forwards are phenomenal, and Black Ice is keying in on them pretty well. So they need some secondary scoring from defense to really step up.
And here the shift continues. It feels like this is the longest shift of the world, but now Har and Savage get it together here, and this shows why they can be so dangerous at times together. And let's play it through.
Yeah. We'll call it Stanley Cup playoffs when you get there. Hard to the front of the net. Machinsky makes 2 steps.
Great save there by Chinny. You see Matt Gerga falls asleep there, but that's a great pass by Har. He gets the puck, goes in, sees Gonzalez going to the net, and a terrific play by Har to get the puck to Gonzalez.
Hard to the front of the
Matt
net.
Gerga falls asleep defensively, and Chinny has to bail him out.
Yeah, it's a great pass by Har there, and like you said, I think Gerger fell asleep a little bit. You know, maybe he knew he was there, and knew that he didn't have a great angle to score. I think Gonzalez maybe should have stepped out a little more further to the right side, the far side, and opened up a little more for a pass, for a backdoor shot. But overall, good play. Got a little dribble on net, a little deflection on net, and Machinsky makes another great save.
And then we have a play come up here. We don't get to see it. We only hear about it, so there's no sense watching it fully. But so I guess PJ DiMartino and Sivalevsky kind of got into it in front of the net on the far end, and they were pushing and shoving and probably, you know, telling each other how much they love each other. And both got coincidental penalties, went in the box. And if I'm Jason Muro and Aaron Weiss, I don't like that for my team. You know, PJ DiMartino is, you know, arguably the best player in this game overall. He's my best defenseman. He's my best all-around player, along with Pascali. And I need him on the rink, and he logs a lot of minutes for Black Ice. You know, if I'm PAMA, again, I don't want to lose Sivalevsky. He's a great player, but I'll take that trade-off with PJ DiMartino right now. You know, Steve doesn't mind going to the penalty box. He's been there plenty of times in his life. He's okay with it. But I think that's kind of what you get sometimes with PJ, though, and that's, you know, we talked about it the other day with a Brandon Hawkins sometimes, or JC Campagna, like some of these guys, Cal Kafuk, we mentioned the other day a little bit, having a little too much sandpaper at times. You know, PJ, I'm a huge PJ fan. He was on Team USA with us. I love what he brings to the table, but this is where PJ has got to know when to say, hey, my team's up 3-2. They need me on the floor. I'm not going to get involved in this bullshit. I'm going to stay focused here and not let myself get taken out of the game. And he does here. And what transpires with this whole thing is because it's 4-on-4 coincidentals, Greg, he winds up being in the penalty box for over 7 minutes for this minute and a half minor.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm sure no one expected that though. You know, I like him stepping up and playing big and getting into it with Oleski, showing him, listen, I'm not scared of you. You know, I'll be here all game long. As we know, PJ is very confident. You know, he stated that he could take Sidney Crosby one-on-one.
Oh, yeah, remember that? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, being a confident guy like he is, you know, he's tough and he'll step up and even to the bigger guys out there. But yeah, no one really knew that he was going to be in the box for this long. I mean, let's be honest. And if I'm black ice, I try to get a whistle just to get him back on the rink. But,
and Greg, you know, these referees, they let you play. So they probably had to definitely take it over the top a little bit to get called for this in the first place, because normally they would just let it go.
Yeah, exactly. I was kind of curious about that as well. Something must have really went overboard for them to call penalties. But let's hop into the straw here.
Yeah, watch his face off.
Yep. So we always preach, you know, in games past, face-offs. And in the past, guys usually line up behind the defenseman, directly behind the defenseman to the boards. Not on the board, not on the half wall side, I'm sorry, but directly behind the defenseman. But Junior Cadiz makes an awesome play here. Just, I don't know, you know, just a smart play. You know, this is where you're supposed to line up on a draw, go into your man, and hopefully winning a 50-50 puck there.
Yeah, no, 100%. And again, you see this Pascali-Bokina matchup, which you've seen a lot this game. And here he goes again. Let's play it through.
There you go. If Junior Cadiz is behind Bokina on the draw, he's not winning that loose puck battle, and Gerger's getting that puck easily. You know, Junior steps in, goes to his man on the boards, and wins the puck. No biggie.
Yeah, let's talk a little about that, Greg, to people at home, that so they follow what you're saying here. And it's a great point by GT. So here's Junior Cadiz. He's holding up here with his man, Matt Gerger, and they're both together. A lot of teams, we saw the Roadrunners do this, and even Black Ice does it sometimes. Junior Cadiz will be back here in the corner waiting for a puck, thinking, okay, we're going to win the draw. We're going to have plenty of time now. We have more gap to make a play. But most pucks going to wind up in this area, and that's what happens here. Travis Bokina does a good job. He wins a draw, but doesn't win it huge. He wins a little bit, and now Junior's right there to get that, where if he's way back in the corner, Matt Gerger gets that puck. So it's a great play by PAMA here to play the faceoff correctly. And, you know, Junior Cadiz is on his side of the dot here. He gets it, and then we got the puck now. And it's a great play by PAMA and a great draw by Travis Bokina, who, you know, even if we thought he was a lot of shape in this tournament on the rink sometimes, he's showing his worth on faceoffs alone.
Yeah, no, him stepping in on these draws, you know, helps PAMA big time. You know, and I think he knows Pascali's, you know, his strengths on his draws and how he actually approaches them, because he sees them so much here locally and playing with them in Paiha, stuff like that. So he kind of knows his game plan on draws. So Travis steps in pretty nicely and beats Billy a handful of times.
That is right.
Former scout for the Regina Pats.
Didn't know that.
Nate Gerger, long feet up ahead. Kraft has some space.
Greg, is Nate Gerger one of the best headman passers in the league with that long pass? Do you think he's one of the best in the business?
In the games that we've covered so far, I've seen at least 2 each game. I think he's probably a pretty good pool player. He's good with the bank passes off the boards, and just seeing his teammates with speed bursting up the rink and, you know, giving him an option off the boards. But yeah, we see it game in and game out with Nate Gerger here. He makes some phenomenal breakout passes, headman passes out to his guys with some speed off the boards.
Yeah, you know, we talk about a lot how I remember Wayne Gretzky used to always talk about Paul Coffey, you know, being the best in the game at that breakout pass. And anyone who's a forward and a skilled forward knows how, a lot of times people blame no scoring on the offense, but it really all starts from your defense. Everything starts from your back end out. And I'd make an argument even in soccer or lacrosse, and no matter what sport you're playing, it starts from your defense. If you're not getting goal scoring, you can't just blame the offense. Not always the last man. If you're not getting the puck in the right spots, a lot of times it's on the D. And Nate Gerger there just makes a beautiful pass. And most guys in this tournament don't make that pass. And then Tyler Kraft doesn't get this chance he gets here. So let's watch it one last time. It's a thing of beauty from the billiards player, Nate Gerger. And that's good D by Ethan Chavera, too, who was get caught back as a forward, covering a tough player in Tyler Kraft.
Yeah, and even by Tommy Tartaglione, getting that stick and being the aggressive goalie that he is.
We're going to fast forward here a little bit, speaking of Tommy Tartaglione. One of the things, Greg, from playing against Tommy for many, many years, he's probably, I can make an argument, the most aggressive goalie in the game. And sometimes a little too aggressive for my likings, but here's a play with KJ Tiffenworth, and this happens with Tommy a lot, and let's let it roll through. I'm going to rewind it a drop here, and we'll see this play by Black Ice and Tommy.
The puck to Billy Pasquale. Now to Nate Gerger. 2-on-2 staying with the zone. Nate Gerger takes a shot, and that one's blocked. As TNT and Tiefenworth run into each other.
Now, I'm going to watch this a little slower, Greg, but I'm going to make an argument here. I agree with KJ Tiffenworth here. I think this is a penalty by Tommy T. You can see how far out of the circle he is, and it's such a one-way street as a non-goalie. Frustrates me because if he's a foot back, KJ's in the box all day long, and the team's attacking him for this. But Tommy comes out, he knows what he's doing here, and you could see he sticks the stick out here. It's hard to tell, and he flips over KJ, he's not that player. He's not looking to hit into the goalie. He's looking for the puck, and I think it's kind of, I'm not going to call it a cheap shot, but it's definitely, in my opinion, worthy of a minute and a half in the box for Tommy's team.
Yeah, and you never see that call, from a goalie. It's usually, like you said, it's a one-way street. Usually it's always the player's fault. But at this point, Tommy Tartaglione is out of the crease, causing chaos, being aggressive, and taking the lane out of KJ Tiefenworth's vision. So for me, I think that could be a call. And I wouldn't have called that if KJ stayed on his feet, I'm sure.
Right.
Savage. Still just looking for an opening. Now he sees one. Heads up the floor. Past the left side. Barrett Harr back in front for Savage. Shoots. He scores!
Savage gets some fun.
Once again, it's Savage and Harr, Greg, making things happen here. But why does this play start, Greg? Let's watch it here, and I want you to talk about why you think Savage got this easy pass out here.
Yeah, so it looks like John Healy, again, I love the strong forechecks on teams, but it's a numbers game, right? He chased him out of the zone. Everyone's really on a man, and the far guy on Black Ice is really deep in the zone. Gives him so much space and time out of the zone, gives them speed, and Harr makes an awesome pass to Savage.
And you got to know if you're Healy here that you're not going to catch Savage on this play, right? It's so hard to catch a guy around the net. Yeah. And I could see if Black Ice was losing this game 3-2, you want to be a little bit more aggressive. But up 3-2, I'm not chasing Savage here. I'm stopping in front of the net on top of the circle, and I'm letting Savage stop at the puck and waste time, let them sit back there and not give him this odd man break. So let's just play it through again, and you can see Savage makes a great dish. And this is what I was talking about earlier. I want to see guys just move the puck quick. Savage, a great backhand pass here to Harr, and he keeps going here. And Harr right back to him. Beautiful play by Savage and a nice goal. And now we're tied up, Greg, 3-3.
Yeah, it's great vision, quick release from Savage. He's got such a strong shot, and to get that release off with Billy Pasquale all over him like that, it's a strong play and a huge goal for PAMA.
Well, this is what you want. You want a close game late.
Absolutely.
And you knew you were going to
Not
get
if you're,
that.
not if you're Black Ice at 3-0.
No, you knew you were going to get that with these two teams, but I'll give the assist to Shavera, but here's DiMartino is out of the penalty box now. Gets a
Another billiards play there, Greg.
Yeah, Nate Gerger does it again. And for him to go cross ice like that, just a great play, awesome vision. I mean,
Shavera, but
look at
here's
that.
DiMartino is out of the penalty box now. Gets a chance. TNT.
So out of the box here, DiMartino. It's a great pass by Gerger and another big save by Tommy there. And that's a good play by Gerger. And again, a big headman pass puts the other team on edge a little bit. Their D's got to worry about this long pass now. And you got to worry about that with Black Ice. And Gerger adds that element that very few guys add in the division. And we're going to play this through here a little bit now. And this is a funny part of the tournament. I remember watching this live, Greg. I think we were behind the net, our team. And, you know, we know Billy Piscali, you know, and we basically, all we've done is about how great he is this whole day. So we could pick on him a little bit here. But one thing about Billy, he definitely plays on the edge a little bit too, and doesn't like he's definitely not sending much Christmas cards to the referees each year. But here, he high sticks the man in the back of the neck. I watched it clear as day, and he gets so fired up by the ref here for it. And we're gonna let it play out first, and we'll talk about it.
Here's DiMartino is out of the penalty box now. Gets a chance. TNT makes the save. Penalty coming here.
Wow, there's a penalty coming up to Black. Oh, Piscali smashes his stick and tosses it, and he is losing it right now. Piscali is losing it right now.
He's out of his mind. It's a $250 tantrum there. He snaps the stick in half. There's a high stick, but I'm not sure
You can
who he
see,
clipped.
you can see PAMA. I can see them killing the.
So let's rewind that for a sec before we get into this delay here. So Billy, you know, it was on a forecheck here, and I could slow it down a little bit. You know, right here, see his sticks over his head, Billy here, Greg, and you can see the referee's obviously in perfect position. That's the one thing with me. I'm never going to argue with a ref if he's right there. You know, if you want to argue, the ref's out of position, or he's down the rink, he's not watching, he's eating a hot dog on the bench, that's fine. But when the guy's right there, it's hard to argue it. And you can see Billy sticks way up in the air, and it's not on purpose, obviously, but he comes down right there. You see that chop, Greg? He catches the man right there, right in the back of the neck. And you can see even the player, I don't know if it's Echeverria there. He looks back at the ref like, you got that? And he sees he's got it. And then Billy just loses his mind, where I was just shocked by how crazy he went when he knows he got him. He's got to know it. And a funny story with this is he when he broke his stick, he actually broke one of the tiles of the floor, Greg, if you remember. And this is a brand new $60,000 floor, which we were so proud to bring in from the Czech Republic from Stillmat. So later on in the tournament, I took the floor up and I made him autograph it as the first person to break a tile of this new floor. But, you know, he loses his mind here. They could have called an extra 10-minute on him. He's actually lucky. If this was a youth division, Greg, and not the pro, they call a 10-minute here. He smashes a stick, breaks a tile, breaks a stick, throws the stick down the rink, goes crazy. They let him get away with it, which, you know, these refs are pros too. They don't want to cause the game for that. But Billy just lost it here for really, in my opinion, no good reason here. But anyway, they keep playing here.
Let me chime in there. I mean, the reason probably, you know, why he, you know, obviously the game, it's a 3-3 game. And I think Black Ice was just still disappointed in that non-call by when KJ Tiefenworth got laid out by the goalie, Tommy Tartaglione. I think that was just really, that really bothered them. And to not get that call, and for Billy to kind of get that, I wouldn't say cheesy high stick call, because he definitely got him over the head. But to get that call against you in a game where you should be winning, and where you blow a lead, they're just a little frustrated.
Yeah, I think it's more about not necessarily the call on Tommy. I think it's more on the fact that it's 3-3 right now. We were up 3-0, and you're just frustrated. And then, you know, he's been the best player on the ice all game. So I'm sure he's just frustrated because he's competitive, and that's, you know, why he would have been one of my captains on Team USA this summer. You know, he's a competitive guy. But you know, again, just got everybody to calm down a little bit here. And no, he's lucky he didn't get a 10-minute, because they would have needed him later on. But so PAMA here, they get the puck, goalie's pulled, and the announcers even talk about here how they thought they were going to kill the clock down here a little bit. Let's watch what PAMA does here with 5:16 left.
Pascali is losing it right now.
He's out of his mind. It's a $250 tantrum there. He snaps the stick in half. There's a high stick, but I'm not sure
You
who
can
he clipped.
you can see PAMA. I can see them killing the entire time to a minute and a half till they get the power play.
Yeah, they don't care about a shootout. They had E-Time do it last year. He's on their team now.
Yeah.
They're going to pressure. Or worst case, you force an odd man rush down low like they did. Seamer shoots, it's blocked. He
Right.
gets
If
to
you're
it,
black ice, you force it. If they
I'm not a big fan of that shot, Greg, by Seamer there. And I know what happens. Guys just don't want to kill it forever. There's a lot of time left or whatever. I remember myself and Travis Snow getting into it in Slovakia, but Team USA back in 17, because he did kind of a similar plan. I wanted him to kill it longer, and he just didn't want to. I don't think it's hard in your mentality just to kill it. But here I'm like, you know what? It's almost like running down the clock in football. It's a 3-3 game. You're getting your power play no matter what. If you score right away in your power play, you're still giving Black Ice plenty of time. I always tell people the most important number on a scoreboard is the time, not the score. Because even if it's 7-0, when there's time, there's a chance. You take away time, there's no chance. So to me, I want to work that clock down to around 2 minutes or so, get a scoring chance, get my power play, score, and then win the game. If not, because if you score right away here, you're giving Black Ice way too much time to come back, and they're the stronger team here of the two offensively, and you've had trouble scoring as it is. So I would want to play for more time, kill more time, get that power play. And it's not like Seamer's got a golden scoring opportunity here when he shoots this one. So I would have liked to see Seamer not shoot this one and work it around longer. And if you get a golden scoring chance, Greg, then bury it, obviously. But here, I don't think he's scoring with a wrist shot here from this spot. I mean, Chinny's got no one in front. I'd rather see him go back to the point here, work it more, frustrate Black Ice, make them have to take more chances to get that puck, and then maybe get that scoring chance down low if you have to. But I would have wished PAMA would have taken more time off the clock here.
Yeah, it's funny in the beginning of that, when they first started gaining the zone, you could tell from the bench was yelling at them to relax and settle down. And I think Rob Chornomud was telling them to kill the clock. Just from the hand gestures that I see in the play. But yeah, it's tough. And I also would have started in the zone a little more, because they had 30 seconds to gain the zone. I feel like they went into the zone right away. I probably would have just came back a little bit, killed more time, then gained the line. Yeah, John Seamer was feeling it. He's got a nice goal in the game. And I'm sure he was just wanted to bury for the boys.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it's hard not to do it. But again, you see it in the NFL all the time. Guys not wanting to score too quick, give the other team time to score again. You got control of the game here now. It's 3-3. It's 4:33 left. It's not like there's 15 minutes left in the half. It's 4 minutes left. Let's kill a couple minutes. Let's work it around, make Black Ice force us, and then maybe we get a better scoring chance. But to go at it right away and score, I think kind of was the wrong decision there. And I guess we'll see how the rest of the game plays out. But let's watch this power play by PAMA. Timeout's called here. Huge part of the game here. Let's watch this face off and we'll start. Big win by
power play here.
Black Ice.
Against a good shorthanded unit.
Kevin Dwyer says Black Ice is going to kill it, and Pascali's going to score when he gets out of the box. If he does, he's going to sell. He's so hard, he might break another stick.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
I'm surprised he didn't get an extra for breaking a stick and then throwing it.
Usually that's 10.
Cadiz works the goal line out to Savage. He'll shoot. Pat stop by Machinsky. He wants to bail out Pascali. Savage out hot.
No panic in Black Ice.
To Cadiz.
Good stick.
See, Greg, let's start here for a second. I'm not a huge fan of having the righties on both wings there. I'm not saying I want Savage on the wing, and maybe you could put an Ethan up top or put Junior on the left side there, or just go to a box. I'm not a real big fan because I feel like Junior now, every time the puck comes to him, he's in an uncomfortable spot, and he's just basically playing passer. Because you watch here earlier, Ethan gives him a beautiful pass. I think it's coming up right here. Right there, where, if he's a lefty or whatever, he's probably shooting that puck. Then Juniors takes it wide here, and then he forces one. I'd rather see him go back to Savage here, maybe Junior here, and give Savage a little flip pass back, give him a chance for a shot. Forces that through. Nice stick by Tyler Kraft, who had a great penalty kill here. But I'm just not a big fan of having Junior Cadiz on that right side during this power play.
Yeah, I mean, they ran that play right before it. A Cadiz to Savage pass that Chinny came up big with. But yeah, again, that original pass from Ethan Chavera to Junior cross ice, east-west pass, it's really not neat. There's no need for it. I mean, if there's no lefty over there, there's no reason to force the pass because Junior really can't do much with it once he gets it because he's a righty. But Nate Gerger also makes an awesome play. He's got a great stick again, like we've stated plenty of times in this game. But he's got that tricky stick. Maybe that kind of threw Junior Cadiz off to make that pass to Savage. But I would like to see that puck try to get to Savage, maybe a little sauce there.
Yeah, and you watch Tyler Kraft. I'm not a fan of when he leaves his feet to go up top here. Again, I don't like when players leave their feet. So right here, you can see Tyler Kraft. He dives, and I'm not a big fan of that play he did there because he gets through, of course, the puck. But then he gets up, and he makes a great play there with a stick, knocks the puck out of reach and out of play. And that's a great kill there by Tyler Kraft, who has a great penalty kill here.
Yeah, he's got a couple great plays with a stick during this kill. And looks like he's out there the entire time. All three of these guys.
It's great plays there on the kill. And then, the only thing here, so they wind up killing the power play, Greg. They kill through it. Billy comes out, no harm, no foul. And the only thing I was a little surprised about here was at the end of the game, PAMA has the puck for a while. And they just decide to kill it. There's a minute left here. Garrett Hart goes behind the net with it, and I could just fast forward so we don't waste our time. For the full minute, they basically stood back in their zone and stood back there. Here's another 30 seconds. You're going to see Hart still back there. They bring it back to him. And I'm surprised at about the 25-second mark, they don't just take it up the floor for a chance. Look at that goal Jerry scored at the end of the first half.
Yeah,
just come in, take a chance. Why not? Instead, they just kill it back and play for the shootout, which, again, maybe they just feel more comfortable with their goaltending to go with the shootout.
Yeah, they got some good forwards in the shootout as well with some crafty hands. But yeah, they definitely should have at least gotten one chance at the end there. I would say 15, 20 seconds left, kind of create something there, get a shot on net. I'm sure the bench was a little disappointed in that as well.
All right, we go to a shootout here. I think this might have been did the Black Guys have a shootout with Liberty earlier in the with
Liberty.
Inferno guys earlier in the Liberty, right? They had a shootout, right? So they won that one. So Black Ice has already been in a shootout today. So this is a big one here, and we'll just play it through.
Is that right?
Say that again.
Mud Cats only have 3 points so far, right?
Yes. Here's the first chance, and Kraft shoots and scores.
Well, Tyler Kraft puts Black Ice up 1-0. Good to see. I like that decision by Jay Muro, Greg. He goes for his steady Eddie and Crafty to come in. You want to get that first one, Greg, right?
Yeah, it's always big, especially in a big game like this. But a shootout, get someone who's pretty steady and consistent in the shootouts and breakaways. And it's funny, I've seen Tyler Kraft on many breakaways, playing with him, playing against him. I don't think I've ever seen him pull that move out. With Tommy Tartaglione in net, it's pretty tough sometimes because he's kind of like a Dominic Hasek, right? In the sense where you don't know what he's going to do. He's got that stick out, and I like how he went 5-hole and caught him reaching there.
Yeah, sometimes use aggressiveness against him. That's the thing. And here, Ethan Chavera, Rob Chornomud brought him in this year for this kind of situation. You would think, right? Big shootout here, and let's see what Ethan does here.
Wait, every Shrink Rat wins our next game against Liberty, they clinch the #1 seed.
Yes. Here comes Eton. Down the left wing side, fakes the shot. Now he tries to go 5-hole. Machinsky
Chinny says no. I mean, Mike Machinsky, one of the most underrated goalies in the world, I would say, Greg, and that's a big save by him. And talk about, going with new players here. Black Ice, brought in their new number 44, Cal Kafuk, for this one here, and he's going to go now. And it's a big decision here by Jay Muro. Does he go with he's got Pascal, he's got Tiffenworth, he's got Gerger, he's got his guys forever. But he says, screw that. I'm not worried about that. We're winning this game. I'm going to go with Cal Kafuk, who's a goal scorer.
Yeah, even John Healy.
Yeah, John Healy could score as well. Let's see what Kafuk does.
Yes.
Here's Cal Kafuk. He has a lot up his sleeve. He also likes to shoot blocker. See what he does. He's in, he shoots blocker, and he scores.
Love that move as a lefty, Greg. Just that extra stick handle and just put a blocker low. I know Matt White likes to do that as well.
Yeah, we were behind the net there. I knew he was doing that the entire time. I think a lot of people did, including our announcer, Chris Trapp. Cal Kafuk loves that move, and if I'm a lefty, I'm doing that all day as well.
Now here's a big one here. Now you got Junior Cadiz, who's been relatively quiet this game, Greg, and he's their main gun. Without Travis Snow, they're relying a lot on Junior Cadiz. Need him here to keep this thing going, and let's see what happens.
It's in this game alive, and it's stopped by Machinsky. Black Ice wins.
So big save by Chinny there, and the girls go crazy. Black Ice girls. So that's a big win. Black Ice, a little bit of a scare there. I give PAMA credit for coming back and battling there, Greg. But that was not an easy one.
Yeah, it's pretty funny actually. Before Junior Cadiz shot, there was the camera went to the Black Ice bench, and I saw Matt Gerger going to get a stick like the game was over already. Like he knew Chinny was gonna steal the deal for them. But yeah, I mean, if you're PAMA, you're a little disappointed. I'm sure both teams were after that game, because Black Ice is up 3-0. They're thinking to themselves, wow, we should have an easy 3 points that game, especially being up early by 3. And then the Knights going to that shootout, they got their guns. I mean, the guys that should be burying their goals, that's what they're there for, Junior Cadiz and Ethan Chivera. So if you're PAMA, you're excited going into the shootout just because you have some experience in that, and Tommy, who's very good on breakaways, and you're got some great goal scorers in Cadiz and Chivera, and then I'm sure Seymour would have been the third shooter. So got some goal scorers there, and to lose that one, it's pretty tough. But them to come back and get some points, I'm sure they'll take it.
Hey folks, this is downtown Georgie Brown, coach of Envious Rink Rat, the soon-to-be PAMA Pro champions. When I'm not at home posting shirtless pics and reminding myself that I'm the best minority coach in the game, I'm listening to the State Wars podcast. You should too.
That's George Brown there. Coach Envious Rink Rat was with us last week after the game, and we're going to bring on now Rob Chornomud, head coach of PAMA Labeda Golden Knights, who's been waiting patiently for us. So let's bring in our buddy, who some people think his last name is Labeda. They call him Rob Labeda. His actual name is Rob Chornomud. And here he is coming in from the office in Labeda. Rob Chornomud. I think, Rob, you got to turn down your volume on your computer there, I think, Rob.
No problem. I gotcha.
Little feedback there. How you doing there today, buddy?
Good, guys. Good. How's everything going there on the East Coast?
Smooth sailing, my friend. Just another day in paradise.
Nice weather coming up here, so we'll take it. I'm sure it's no California weather, but out here on the East Coast, we'll take the high 60s, 70s coming up.
Well, that's our world all the time. So we're fortunate in that regard.
Hey, Rob, I sent you a text on Monday. I didn't get one back from you, bud.
A text for what?
We'll talk about it later.
Oh, okay. My bad. I must have missed it.
Playing games with me. That's cool.
Always head games, baby. Head games.
So, Rob, we just covered obviously your game against Mission Black Ice. So let's talk a little bit about, before we get into the game specifically. I know for you as a coach, we were kind of in the same similar situation going into the PAMA Pro Invitational, missing a couple key guys going into it, some different situations. It's obviously been a crazy year with COVID and other stuff going on. So you had some players, and not just any players, players you can't replace a Travis Snow. You can't replace a Brett Ollinger. You can't replace a Darren Nowick. We had a similar with a Chris Terry or a Matt White or a Charlie Combs. So what was your mindset going into the tournament? all year long, you're so excited, I'm sure, about this team. We talked about it, and then this happens. What are you thinking going into Indiana now? Obviously going to be down some guys, and how does that change your mindset and your coaching style?
Oh, well, for one, it's frustrating. Obviously, everything changes, at the drop of a dime. So, obviously you don't have anything, you can do to change it. So you make adjustments, and hopefully the adjustments take, and you can, tweak on the fly, and hopefully put the same type of package. Ultimately we were practicing prior to this event, and lines got completely decimated, in regards to guys that were working together, chemistry that was being created. So to see that, now hope that you can kind of on a moment's notice, make adjustments, tweaks as you need to. Hopefully you see the similar success you were watching, for, weeks coming into the State Wars event.
Yeah, like you said, you can't replace guys like that. No matter who I mean, Black Ice is one of the few teams. They lost a Shabo, they pick up a Kafuk. That's kind of an even trade-off, But for us, your team, no knock on Travis Bokina, but he's not Travis No. It's such a huge loss there when you lose a Travis No, who's arguably a top 3 player in the entire tournament, and a huge goal scorer for you guys. You can see the difference in your offense just from one player being out of there. It's pretty incredible. And I think personally, Brett Ollinger is one of the most underrated players in the game defensively. Would you agree with that, Rob?
Actually, I lost you for probably the last 20 seconds. So I heard that you can't replace Travis, and then I kind of just, I think internet audio was taken over.
Oh, and I said with Brett Ollinger, I think he's one of the most underrated defensemen in the tournament. I said, would you agree with that?
Oh yes, of course. I mean, he was probably even a bigger hit to not have on the team, just because from a defensive front, offensively, you got guys that are always thinking offense without necessarily taking care of the back end. And he's always a guy who's gonna, be responsible, know that he's always gonna be there to cover, and he can make up ground. And he's just very smart defensively, IQ wise, that he's able to, band-aid a lot of potential, whether it be defensive forward issues, or just knowing that, he can get at a stick on somebody, he can shut down a team's best player. So yeah, not having Brett here was a crushing.
I'll have to disagree with both of you, because I don't think he is underrated. I think guys know who he is now. He's been playing for how long, and guys in the division know how good he is. So I definitely don't think he's underrated.
Yeah, I think when I say underrated, I mean from like the people at home. I think like just fan base wise, you hear about, you hear the names Travis No, Matt White, Billy Pascali, PJ, all these names, and I'm willing to bet that if you ask the kids that come to the games and whatnot, I bet Brett Ollinger is not a household name as opposed to an Ethan Chavera or Junior Cadiz or some of the other names that we talk about. I guess that's more the guys in the know like us. Obviously, we know who he is, but I think at home he's not known as much.
Well, once Brett get his YouTube vid, his highlight reels up on YouTube,
yeah.
He'll be more mainstream.
That's what I laugh at with these guys. I give these guys so much credit for putting their skillful videos out, but you don't see any defensive videos or them working on their defense. So maybe Brett has an opening there to maybe get a defensive video going.
Yeah, just eating pucks all day. This is how you do it.
Yeah,
100%. So Rob, I don't know how much you remember. It's been a while now. So leading into this game, you guys went 1-1 on Friday. So this is a big game, and we talked about the strength of the PAMA Pro Invitational, where you're playing a Black Ice even at all in the round robin, and you played already 2 tough games. You played I think Rink Rat Envious the day before, but going into this Black Ice game, they were struggling a little bit too. They were 1-1. Their win was in a shootout against Liberty earlier, so this is like a must-win game for them too going into it. But right away we showed it. Lost a face-off to start the game. They scored 20 seconds in on a beautiful goal with Pascali and DiMartino. Just talk about it as a coach a little bit. I mean, it's got to be so frustrating when you have that talk in the locker room, I'm sure, like we do with your guys, about how important this game is. Let's start strong. Let's set the pace. Black Ice is struggling. Let's come out strong. And then the puck drops, and 20 seconds in, you're down 1-0. How frustrating must that be?
Oh yeah, it's beyond frustrating. I mean, defensive responsibility. You just want guys to know that, you're going out there every shift. I'd rather them focus 100% on defense, knowing that the offensive side is so natural, but yeah, it's not where you want to see yourself, 20 seconds into a game.
And it's funny that now I think about it, our game against you guys, the Snipers versus PAMA, we scored pretty early into that game as well. I think it was like 8-9 seconds to that game. So I feel like it was, just something that you guys couldn't really adapt to. Did you get that, Rob?
Can you respond again? It kind of froze on me. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Thinking back into the quarterfinal game against the Snipers and PAMA, I remember us scoring 10 seconds into the game pretty early, that time frame against you guys during that game as well. So I felt like it was kind of, something you guys didn't really adapt to.
No, and that's where, like I said, defensively, that's where we were probably hemorrhaging, at all, on all lines, not necessarily all lines, but whether it's offensive defensemen, or, we weren't having four guys working as a unit, whether it been line 1, 2, or 3. And it was a situation where, especially, bringing the sniper game, for example, where right out of the gate, we get a chance, but everybody overcommits for the chance. And then, you end up coming back the other way and it's an outmanned attack and, we end up going down. And it's just, you can't afford to, have such a momentum swing so early. And, the same situation here with Black Ice, where you want to just see the guys, play it safer, in regards to defense. Just know that you're covering, your defensive side first. And like I said, offense is natural. Focus on your D and everything else will come.
Well, I think, what made this such a crazy year, Robin, I know you guys got to go out to tours, but for most teams, the rinks were closed back home. You're not playing as much as you normally would be. Normally you'd be playing at an arch tournament in California finals before. So by the time you get to State Wars, you're gelling, right? Your team has played a bunch. You're feeling good. This year was crazy for a lot of people. I know the Roadrunners hadn't even played in a tournament before State Wars. So a lot of this, I think, had to do with that. They didn't get the practice in that they normally do. And everyone was a little, off, and then you throw in some new players into the mix for you guys. It makes it for a tough situation all around.
Yeah, we were fortunate that we were actually getting time to practice. That's a frustrating part. So we were actually getting time to practice, but ultimately the lines changed up. Travis was on the team up until days before. So lines guys that were working together were, power play time that we were putting in. Time now you get to State Wars and it's nothing like you've been working on for the last 4 or 5 weeks. So you're walking into it a little different than what you expected. And like I said, making moves on the fly. Travis played real well for us last year at tours. He came in and he just fit. But then at the same time, not knowing if he's skating, doing all the same stuff, because of COVID that, he came in, not playing as much as he usually did. So it wasn't a quick fit like it was last year when he jumped in on a tours team with us.
Yeah, and it's tough too. I feel like you see it in the NFL all the time where a guy gets hurt and they bring in some guy who's been working like a regular job, wasn't ready for it. He probably was like a last minute, oh shit, I got to get ready for the PAMA Pro Invitational now. So it's a tough spot for anybody to be in. So Rob, you guys fell behind 3-0, and to your credit, you guys battled back, which is really difficult. And we talked about how, the first goal that was scored, John Seamer scored it. It was a nice goal through a screen, but it's 3-1. You guys got a little bit of momentum. And then Jerry, I don't know if you remember, I don't know if you were watching today, he scored that 3-2 goal with 5 seconds left from the red line. He just threw it towards the goal, and Tyler Gonzalez was screening in front. So that had to give you guys so much wind back in your sails, scoring that goal and coming to half 3-2 now.
Yeah, Jerry told me he saw Mike cheating a little short side, so he went ahead and, took advantage of that. No, but yeah, you definitely feel good seeing that goal go in, right before half. So it was a situation where if there's a chance to pump a little life into the team, that's it. You're hoping to see something happen, and knowing that we got that goal right beforehand on a crazy, half court shot, I'll take that all day, because our team needed a little bit of a punch in the arm.
Now, Rob, when you guys scored that goal by Seamer, made it 3-1, there was about 1:40 left in the half. you guys changed goalies. Rayfield suddenly came out because he had started that game, and Tommy went in. Kind of a weird scenario with a minute 40 left. It wasn't like he gave up the goal. You guys just scored one. What happened there?
At that point, I already had Tommy, gearing up, getting ready to come in. At this point, I know we needed something to change it up. So even though that goal got scored, and it was in, the team was pumped, I had Tommy getting ready to come in, and that same scenario you're talking about where you don't want to see a goal, given up, right at the end of the half. I thought changing the look, giving Black Ice a different look based on goaltending, that it could help us out, based on the team realizing that you got, a vet and Tommy coming in, and just changing the dynamic and the look, and not really wanting to see a fluky fourth goal going in right at the end of the half and us being on the other end of that, goal going in. So that was the biggest reason for me, and he was ready to go. So as far as I was concerned, we were making the move the first opportunity we could, and not to blame Blake, because it's not like the goals we were giving up were his fault. It was just a situation that I felt we needed something, and hopefully the guys were able to rally around Tommy.
Now, Rob, touching on that, going to the game, what was your mindset of starting Rayfield? Obviously you have a veteran in Tommy who's won this tournament plenty of times, played the big games, and not a weaker goalie, but a guy who really hasn't played at the highest level in Rayfield. What was your mindset of him starting that game?
Well, the situation going into the tournament, I think we've realized it in the past. If you're looking at winning this tournament, you've got to go 3 games on Sunday. And as far as I'm concerned, to have 2 goalies and an opportunity to take a little bit of the pressure off on that 3-game run on Sunday, if you're really going to give it a go, in my opinion, you want to be able to, if you could take a little pressure off your number one, you do it. And that matchup in the first game could be a snipers like it ended up being, or a Black Ice. We still had the Mudcats late that afternoon. So, at this point in time, we had a win. So we had 3 points. Everything was crucial moving forward. I was planning on the fact that I was going to play Rayfield in a playoff game. So I wanted him to be able to know that we have the confidence in him. And at the same time, I knew I was going with Tommy against the Mudcats, and I just wanted to, know that we're rolling with 2. I'm counting on, Sunday coming, that, be prepared. You're going to potentially see a playoff game, so that if we get through this, Tommy's seeing 2 games, not 3 games, and gas by the end of it, and that was the issue. I felt, Fort Wayne the year before, when we were dealing where the rink was a little hotter, and, obviously we didn't have to deal with that, but still dealing with having to go through 3 games to get to the end, I think makes it tougher on a goalie than the players.
Yeah, I get it. I'm still surprised that you went with Rayfield against Black Ice and not the other way around, and maybe have Rayfield play against the Mudcats later on. But that's why you're coaching and I'm not, and you guys pulled out a nice little 2-point game there. So,
well, it's funny, Rob, when we played you guys in the quarterfinals, I think Rayfield took all the warm-ups. I don't think Tommy took warm-ups. And I remember JP Susko, who usually watches the other goalies during our warm-ups, he said, Rayfield's starting this game. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. He goes, he's taking all the warm. And then Tommy wound up playing the game, not Rayfield. So it was kind of a weird dynamic. I remember with that, we thought Rayfield was starting against us as well.
Yeah, well, that was actually on me right there, because of the fact that I told Rayfield coming in to the tournament that he would get that playoff game. So he assumed. I talked to Tommy, but it was my fault for not actually communicating it to Blake that I was going to have Tommy do it. And Tommy wasn't taking shots. He's got his own, routine on how he was prepping for it. So, it was actually, my bad for not communicating it to the goaltender and letting him know. So it was kind of that awkward moment at the puck drop that you're not playing, and just be prepared and ready to go. So that's 100% on me.
Well, honestly, we'll be dead honest here. I mean, I don't think goaltending was your issue. So I think you made.
Couldn't agree more.
No, it's funny, yeah. Rob, we talked about in this game, last week when we covered a Rink Rat Envious game, there was a play where JC Campagna took a penalty. And and it wasn't like a big deal. It was a coincidental, and it wound up, I thought, changed momentum of the game. And now in this game, PJ DiMartino and Cibaleski got into it, and the camera couldn't catch it, but I'm assuming, they got into a little bit more than normal for the referees to even call penalties on them. And, I look at that, and again, no knock on Steve, PJ DiMartino is probably Black Ice's, number one guy. So to get him off the rink is always great. But then with the free flow of the game, he wound up being in the box for over 7 minutes. And you guys wound up tying the game during that. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? How just for players out there, I don't think guys get it, how these little plays sometimes can just change momentum just from a penalty and whatnot.
Yeah, from a coach's perspective, I couldn't have been happier to see the Steve goading them into getting a penalty and then going both off, and the flow of the game keeping PJ in the box. You don't want to see PJ, as it is, he's probably out there, on long shifts and double shifting. So there was a good 5 minutes probably of that 7 minutes he would have seen floor time on. So to take him off the floor, I'll take that trade all day long, and it was a good trade for us. And at the same time, I'm glad we were able to capitalize on the situation, but, I'll take, taking PJ off the floor with, 80% of, your team most of the time, so it was a situation I was completely comfortable with, happy that, Steve was able to goad him into whatever situation it was. That's his specialty, is to get under guys' skin and do his, behind the scenes work. And it was good that he was able to make that, deal go down and have them both go off, because it couldn't have worked out better for us.
Now, Grant, Rob, this whole tournament, I think you and I have talked about it. Like, it just felt like you guys never got comfortable, right? You probably never felt great. There's never a moment you felt like really good, like, all right, we're rolling now. You just never got that comfort from you guys. What do you think? I mean, obviously, missing players is always a big part of it. But besides that, what did you feel, and what were your thoughts on kind of why that was, if you agree with that?
Oh, I agree with it 100%. I mean, the expectation level was so much more for everybody, myself down to every player on the team. And like I said, you have to make adjustments. There's going to be situations where players don't make it, and it just seemed like the adjustments never happen. What you expect a player to do, what you expect a line to do, and support each other defensively, just never seemed to be clicking. And it wasn't for the sake of going over it and touching up on it, but I think guys look at scenarios and just lose sight of what the responsibilities are, and so easily jump into a lane because they think they may be able to get there, versus realizing that wasn't your job. Somebody else had that, something else is covered. But it's just a situation where I think guys feel a little pressure when things aren't going right, that they got to do a little bit more, and a little bit more doesn't necessarily fall into how four guys work together on the floor.
Yeah, like you guys stated, I mean, it just seemed like you guys couldn't get into a rhythm, and
I don't know if I lost you guys there or not.
You here with us now, Rob?
Sorry, boys, if it's my connection, but I'm not hearing anything.
I think your screen's frozen for a second here. Hopefully we'll come right back to you here. Can you hear us, Rob? Can you hear us now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think now you're back. Well, you were for a second. Can you hear us, Rob?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back with you guys. Yeah.
You gotta pay that electrical bill over at Labeda.
Yeah, that's what happens when you live out in the sticks, man, of California. The internet connections are the best. You're not getting FiOS.
People back home, buy more Labeda. These guys got to keep the internet going over there, okay?
Yeah, no, I was just saying, yeah, just watching you guys throughout the weekend, it just seemed like you guys couldn't get rolling, and certain guys didn't step up in key times, and I felt like the defense, they kind of, like you said, maybe wanted to jump in different gaps where they probably shouldn't have, and stuff like that. So that was what I got out of your team during the PAMA Pro this year. Guys just trying to maybe fill in for Travis's shoes, and just step in certain instances where they maybe should have just pulled back and said, listen, that's not really my job this week. And I really have to play some defense or, make the right plays and make some more passes and maybe shoot some pucks on net,
No, for sure. And like I said, I think that comes with guys, flow of the game changing. And then all of a sudden, like I said, they feel like they need to do a little bit more, whether it be defensively or offensively. And all of a sudden, holes open up that shouldn't be there. And you definitely don't want to do that against Black Ice because they're that team that transitionally are probably the best in the game. They're waiting for those mistakes to capitalize. And they took advantage of just about every mistake we gave them.
Yeah, I called it a few times during the game. You would see that they're so good at coming back, and then players are trying to do too much and bring the puck into crowds instead of maybe playing a little stronger, being more power forwards, getting to the net with the puck wide a little bit more. Instead, they were trying to stick handle through the middle of the ice, and it was just easy pickings for Black Ice. They were just waiting on it, steal the puck, and then go the other way. So it's tough. But so I want to ask you a little bit, Rob, about you guys lost this game. It is what it is. But let's just talk in general about this year. So what did you think in general? You and I talk all the time. You weren't sure going in what was going to happen this year. We were in Michigan. We moved back to Indiana. We had this new arena. We were hoping to make it work there. So coming out of it from a PAMA Pro perspective, what kind of feedback do you have as far as the arena, the floor, the whole aura of the division, how it was able to happen during this crazy year?
Well, I give you both credit that you guys made, a terrible situation into a great situation. At the end of the day, to see the event go down and to see it happen at the Memorial Coliseum, which, we would never have had a chance to get into if it wasn't for, being able to reach out to the arena and finding out that that was even a possibility and doing what you guys did. You guys threw an extra spin on a situation that, we would never have seen. I don't think we'll ever get a chance to see again, unless things, don't drastically change. But I couldn't have asked for a nicer event the way it all went down, the arena, playing in the arena, running on game time, it just, the flow of those game days from a coaching perspective, I'm sure the players appreciated it, just being able to come in knowing your game time is your game time, it gave you, the best chance to prepare, even though we might not have shown it during this event, it was nice to have it set up that way, and I think everybody will walk away from, 2020 State Wars and say, wow, what an experience it was, because the floor was first rate, the arena was first rate, the way it was ran was first rate, and just having a chance to say we got to play there and experience it the way we did, I think was special.
Now, Rob, what kind of feedback? And I know you and I talked about this floor. You've played with it before at World Championships and stuff. So the Still Matters, a new sponsor of ours. We got a floor from them. I want to get another one, hopefully, from the Czech Republic. And I'm actually helping rep them a little bit here in the USA now with some. We've actually had a couple rinks reach out about wanting to get that floor for their rink. I know All American hopefully is going to install that floor. What kind of feedback did you get from the guys about the floor?
Well, I think the guys were stoked just because it was seamless. You got on the floor and, you're dealing with, multiple year sport courts or whatever other surfaces you're playing on. After time, you start getting those little seams that seem to come up a little bit, and the pucks are, bouncing off a little, seams you don't see, but, just enough to break up plays and change things up. So having a floor that's just brand new and pristine and, in my opinion, one of the best floors, if not the best floor in the game, down, and the guys just, I think just loved it. It was a situation that you're going to be faster on it. You're going to, the game will play better on it. You're not losing pucks because the puck chipped off of a corner that's been banged up or, coming up. So I think that allowed the game to play in its truest form, and it just made for, I think, a better overall tournament.
Right, what was your feeling on the floor, being on that floor as a player?
Yeah, obviously, I've skated on it plenty of times throughout my days, but when we were putting it together, I actually, and I never do, Tim knows this, like I never hop on early and skate around and warm up before the tournament starts, but I actually got out there and messed around a little bit and tested out the floor and the pucks and stuff like that when the floor was being put in. But loved it. You know, like Rob said, it's seamless. You know, it's like a sheet of ice, and yeah, it's phenomenal. Loved it.
And we would like to go to that still mat floor moving forward, Rob, you know, for next year. I think that'd be the way to go on that floor. I mean, watching guys warm up with them and whatnot, it seems like it'll be a faster floor on that rink.
Puck, you mean?
Puck, sorry, faster puck on that rink.
I think you might be frozen again. Oh, there we go.
You guys
Just
repeat
talking about
that
the
just
puck a little bit,
that-
Rob, thinking that, you know, that still mat
Oh,
puck
yeah.
would be the way to go. Just
Yeah,
talk
the
that
still mat puck
a
with the
little
still
bit, how,
mat
you know,
floor.
that's the way we want to go in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a bad move.
we wanna
I mean,
go
it's a
with in the
situation where, yeah, it's a great puck that works well on that floor, and I think it's an advantage.
Yeah, totally. Now, Rob, I got a question for you. Obviously, coming into this year, 2020, you guys made a lot of roster changes, lots of excitement coming out of the PAMA family, you know, high expectations for 2020. And then obviously with, you know, guys not making the trip and, you know, the coronavirus putting a dagger into things. Are you coming into 2021 as excited? Are you, you know, did you lose the excitement, or are you guys just as excited as you were in 2020 going into 2021? I mean, I know teams are getting a little younger. Your team's getting a little older. Are you still as excited for this upcoming year with the roster that you should have had, maybe?
A combo, yeah. We're actually super pumped about 2021, just because, you know, expecting to have the missing pieces that we didn't have last year. Plus, you know, I think we've got some moves that are going on that'll young up the team a little bit too. So I think we're looking forward to have a brand new look, and at the same time, I think our team will actually be even more competitive than we were expecting the team to be this year coming in. So I actually feel stronger than I've ever felt coming in, and I think we're gonna, you know, be deep and young and vets and a good combo of just everything that we should be. And I think, like I said, I think we'll be better coming into 21 than we were planning on coming into 2020.
Rob, you're teasing us here. You got any insight? Can you kind of mention any names, maybe?
We'll be leading it soon. You know, I'll be showing it soon. Don't want to give it up too soon, but you
I
know,
heard
just
about
want to
one,
make
Rob.
sure.
I heard Mooney's on your team now. I heard that player. I heard that from one of the players.
Okay, all right. So I guess you are going to get some of it out. Yeah, we do have Kevin Mooney has come on board, so he will be playing with us moving forward. And
Maybe a goalie as well.
what was that?
Maybe a goalie change as well.
There may be, but right now all the for sure moves are in front. You know, so we have a new young D coming in as well, and Kevin and actually potentially two young D and forward, and you know, moving some of our guys around. You know, that might have been defensive players up front and vice versa, just depending on, you know, where they're I think fit best. But yeah, we definitely have some shakeup going on here to at least make sure we're here for years to come. You know, so that's the plan, and you know, make adjustments when you have to, and tweaks. And I think we've made the right ones to put ourselves in a position to, you know, battle for, you know, the big cup. So.
Yeah, I'm excited for the division in 21. You know, talking to George Brown last week, Rob, you know, we covered, you know, Rink Rat Envious really opened some eyes last tournament. I thought they came out of nowhere and really were dangerous and easily could have went further. You know, they had a tough loss in the quarterfinals to the Roadrunners, and George Brown, you know, he's, you know, in his funny way is already predicting future PAMA Pro champion, the Rink Rat Envious. So I think they're going to be on that radar now as a team that hasn't been before. I think the Roadrunners from going to the finals last year, I don't think they were ever on the radar of being a top team. They're in that category now. You know, and Alkali last year, they were missing some key players as well, like you guys were, we were. And of course, you got Black Ice and the Mudcats. I thought last year were the best they've looked in maybe 10 years with that team getting younger. And who knows? Greg mentioned it last week. Maybe one of these Finns or Swede teams come out like they were supposed to last year, but everything before all this happened. And I'm going to make a prediction that the PAMA Pro Invitational in 2021 in St. Peters, Missouri, is probably going to be the toughest to win than it's ever been.
No, it's only going to get better. I think everybody realizes, this is the premier, event. If you want to win one, this is it. So if you're going to put your all in, this is where to push the chips in. And, I predict as well that, the Golden Knights will be back. We're not just a playoff team. We're looking at, competing for that top spot. And I see us being in the top four, battling for, a chance to raise a cup this next summer.
Awesome. Rob, now before you leave, were you able to? Obviously, you watched the game in person. It's kind of tough to remember, but have you watched the game? Did you watch the podcast today? Did you look back?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Now, before we announce our 3 stars of the game, I want to hear a little input from you. Who your stars of the game were, if you can remember, off the top of your head.
Okay, off the top of my head here, I would say Billy. Pascali, Mike, Mike Majinski, the goalie, and who else here that
Who do you think your best player? Who do you think your best player in that game was, Rob?
I'd say my best player that game was probably Savage. If I'd go off a recollection, it would be probably Scotty Savage. I thought Echeverry played well as well, but probably Savage is who I would choose as our best player in that game.
Yeah, so we had Billy Pascali number 1, Scotty Savage number 2, and then we actually threw Nate Gerger in there, Black Ice.
And he was actually my other guy. I was going to go 3 on the Black Ice side, and that was going to be my other name on the Black Ice side. So I agree 100% on that.
Yeah, he's just very underrated. Just does all the little things right that people don't really see out there. And, just reviewing the game again today, I mean, he just makes some phenomenal passes, especially off the ball.
Agreed. Yeah, he was definitely on my radar.
He's got that long reach, good stick, and just makes all the right plays. So definitely well-deserved by Nate Gerger as well.
Yeah, he was the guy I was going to mention next. So like I said, I was mentioning 3 Black Ice players just because they won the game, but that's who I would have chosen as well.
Yeah, I think personally, I didn't think Chinny played great. He didn't really win them the game until the shootout. The shootout, he really stepped up.
But that's when it counted.
No, for sure. But he didn't really see too much during the game, so.
No, for sure. And that was really for the shootout more than anything else, was just the fact that he stepped up and did what he had to do to get his team an extra point.
Yeah.
Rob, when I watch these games again, we're always in our mind thinking about, how we could change the game, what we can do better and whatnot. And, watching a lot of these games, I do see those lulls in the game where it can be a little boring watching a little bit for people, with the puck behind the net, and, snipers are guilty of that as well, obviously. And in that game, you saw moments of it where, I think Trefty might have mentioned there, if it was a packed house in Indiana, people might have been booing at some points of how long the puck was standing still. So, and this is a big conversation for a future time when we have more time with it. But when I watch this, I really start thinking again of a discussion we had a long time ago about having some sort of trapezoid behind the net and just not allowing any stoppage behind the net, maybe even at all, with the puck. And I just want to get your thoughts quickly on that and how speeding the game up, if you think that could make the game a little more exciting.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you took away the back of the net, which is a huge, time, crunch, scenario where it takes so much time off the clock. If you're losing, you have to, potentially force and chase, but it's a situation that opens up an opportunity to kill so much clock. And even though that game, worked out that way at the end for us, it wasn't what I was telling the guys to do. I was telling them not to force. I don't want you taking that chance to force an opportunity out. And I was driving me nuts that we weren't pushing right at the end to get a shot on net, right at the end of the game and capitalizing on that, last shot opportunity. And my only message was, don't force. We don't need we don't need to win right now, but we can't afford to lose.
Now, what about that delayed power play, Rob? Were you happy that they shot pretty quickly into that, or do you want to work it down?
No, I wanted to work it down. I was hoping that we were going to capitalize on it being the last couple minutes of the game where we're going to finish on that power play and hopefully, bury one and kill the clock so that, whatever was left wasn't going to be a lot of time left for black ice. So it was definitely frustrating that the moment black ice opened up a little bit and pressured, our guys figured that's the time to go ahead and create a shot opportunity. So a little frustrating to see that happen that way.
Right. And that's what we figured. I think Greg mentioned he thought he's heard you or saw you kind of telling the guys to slow down. And I know I always preach that with our guys, but I know how some of the skill guys are. They just don't want to do it. And it gets definitely frustrating.
Well, it was a page where if you notice the two guys up high never came in, so the play was to come out. I'll be right down there. Yeah. And ultimately, the scenario was that, they didn't jump into the play because that wasn't the plan. They were going to be the outlet and we were going to just be patient, and ultimately we weren't.
Right. Yeah, it happens. All right, Rob. Well, obviously, always great catching up with you. I see you getting yelled at to go pour some wheels, so don't want to hold you up too long.
I appreciate it, guys.
Wifey.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just busy down here. So at the end of the day, the COVID scenario, we're a little short staffed, so everyone's doing a little bit more than they usually do in regards to their different aspects of the business. So it's all hands on deck at all positions whenever it's needed. So
Good.
Well, awesome. Well, guys, you guys are doing well, and look forward to seeing you soon. And we'll talk soon, bud. All right, thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, thanks, Rob.
appreciate it, guys. You both take care. You guys have a great one.
You too. Talk to you later.
Thanks, Rob.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was Rob Chornomud, head coach, PAMA Labeda Golden Knights, and one of our main sponsors for many, many years from Labeda. One of the best guys in the sport, Greg.
The best. Rob's the man. He's loves the sport. He's at
Even though he doesn't text you back.
Yeah, usually he does, but Rob's at every event, knows what's going on. He's been involved in the sport for so long and just loves it. So love Rob, love what he brings to the table, and Palmer's lucky to have him.
Absolutely. It's been another great podcast here, Greg. Definitely covered some awesome stuff today. Want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll be excited next week. We haven't decided what our game is going to be next week, but I'm sure it'll be another great one. Maybe a playoff matchup. Maybe we'll dive into the quarters or the semis next week. But just want to thank everybody for tuning in today, and we'll send this out to PJ Cavalla.
If not, we'll see everyone. If you're not tuned in next week, we'll see you guys at the Fall Invitational.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is PJ Cavalla, the voice of State Wars Hockey, and you are watching the SWH podcast brought to you by Glass Half Full Productions. Thank you to all of our amazing sponsors: Mission Bauer, Tour, Alkali, Labeda, Rink Rat, Conix, Warrior, Monkey Sports, Yord Watches, Car Shield, Rocket Puck, Wraparound, and Top Shelf Targets. We look forward to seeing you all on the rink soon.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see everybody soon. GT, have a good one, okay?
You too, Tim.